In the primordial realm, on the Golden Turtle Island in the Eastern Sea, lies the stronghold of the GS sect. Behold, auspicious clouds envelop the area, and purple mist swirls above. An enormous golden dragon of fortune spirals majestically, its scales and claws vividly lifelike, nearly corporeal. Suddenly, the skies above Golden Turtle Island darken, ominous clouds gather, and a tempest brews, sending the myriad beings of the Eastern Sea fleeing in terror. Rebellious disciple, rebellious disciple. At the same time, two thunderous roars echo. The owners of these voices are none other than the Tongtian Jiaoju. When a sage is enraged, the heavens and earth tremble. On the sea's surface, two yikshaws patrol, and upon witnessing this scene, they shiver in fright. What has happened? Why is the Tongtian sage so furious? One yiksha exclaims, "Oh dear, you're new here and don't know only that rebellious disciple Li Xiao could provoke the Tongtian sage to such a state." The other yiksha replies hastily. The first yiksha attempts to inquire further, but is pulled away by the second, hastily diving into the water towards the Dragon Palace. In fact, it is indeed Li Xiao who has angered the Tongtian Jiaoju. Today marks the day when the Tongtian Jiaoju is to deliver a sermon, and all the celestial beings of the GS sect have gathered at Golden Turtle Island in great numbers. The Tongtian Jiaoju is to descend, reclining upon a cloud bed, yet he finds that Li Xiao is conspicuously absent. The Tongtian Jiaoju waits and waits, yet Li Xiao does not arrive. Subsequently, the Tongtian Jiaoju scans with his divine sense and discovers Li Xiao sprawled on a large blue stone at the edge of Golden Turtle Island, soundly asleep. How could the Tongtian Jiaoju not be furious? While the sage delivers his teachings, others rush to attend. Yet Li Xiao lies on the beach basking in the sun, deep in slumber. The myriad celestial beings of the GS sect shake their heads in dismay clearly. This is not the first such occurrence. They truly cannot comprehend why the Tongtian Jiaoju would take such a seemingly useless disciple as his fifth direct disciple. Yun Xiao, go to the beach and summon that rebellious disciple. The Tongtian Jiaoju declares, his face a mask of displeasure. Yes, master. Yun Xiao responds, rising and transforming into a streak of light toward the beach. In truth, Li Xiao has his own grievances. He is merely a transmigrator. Originally, he thought his new life would allow him to showcase his talents, but little did he know that heaven was playing a cruel joke on him. No background, no talent, no cultivation. Well, he is even worse off than the three no realms of the Chan sect's Huanglong. Li Xiao had once earnestly practiced. When the Tongtian Jiaoju preached, he gritted his teeth and listened. But alas, it was as though he were listening to a foreign language he could not comprehend a single word. For tens of thousands of years, Li Xiao has drifted through life. While others' realms soared, he remained stagnant like an old dog, still at the initial stage of the celestial realm. Well, all right, he is still considered a celestial being. As long as he isn't killed, he has enough lifespan. Thus, hundreds of years ago, Li Xiao gave up and chose to become a complete slacker. From then on, he became the source of constant vexation for the Tongtian Jiaoju. Ding! Binding slacker system, 1%, 2%. Ding! Slacker system binding complete. In a daze, Li Xiao heard the cold mechanical voice. Damn it, system, you finally showed up? I've been waiting for you forever. Li Xiao exclaimed, jolting awake, cursing vociferously. Then Li Xiao jumped down from the large blue stone and tentatively asked, System, is there a beginner's gift pack? Ding! Beginner's gift pack dispensing. Congratulations, host. You have received the divine eye of the great Tao, 9 revolutions mysterious art, and chaos pearl. The system's crisp mechanical voice echoed once more. At the same time, a note appeared in Li Xiao's mind. Divine eye of the great Tao can perceive all heavenly secrets and opportunities, discerning all illusions. Damn it, I've struck gold, I've struck gold. Li Xiao rejoiced, dancing with excitement. Not to mention how extraordinary the divine eye of the great Tao is for discerning all heavenly secrets and opportunities, while the 9 revolutions mysterious art and chaos pearl, though lacking descriptions, Li Xiao is well aware of their significance. The 9 revolutions mysterious art is the technique of the Panga god, regarded as the foremost technique of the primordial realm. The Chaos Pearl is one of the 4 great chaos treasures, and among the remaining treasures' heavenly opening acts, Chaos Green Lotus and Creation Jade Disc all have been destroyed. This implies that the Chaos Pearl is the last remaining chaos treasure, considered the king of treasures. Damn it, had I known this earlier, I wouldn't have bothered to cultivate. Li Xiao muttered disgruntledly. Whoosh! At that moment, a streak of light shot forth, revealing a graceful figure. It was Yun Xiao, come to find Li Xiao. Li Xiao, why are you here? The master has already begun preaching. You are the only one missing. Upon seeing Li Xiao, Young Xiao's expression soured slightly as she furrowed her brow. Li Xiao, lacking ability and being lazy, seems to possess nothing but good looks. It is only natural that Yun Xiao would be displeased with him. Oh, got it, Li Xiao replied nonchalantly, fully aware of Young Xiao's displeasure, yet unwilling to impose himself upon her, simply responding in a detached manner. For him, the Tongtian Alju's teachings were merely an alternative venue for listening to doctrine. Yun Xiao turned and proceeded ahead. Li Xiao followed leisurely behind, occasionally glancing at Yun Xiao. Oh my, despite her temper, this girl is quite the figure, curvaceous and alluring. Just as Yun Xiao was about to ascend on her cloud, she suddenly heard an unexpected voice in her mind, causing her to stumble slightly, nearly falling to the ground. Swish! Yun Xiao turned around, glaring at Li Xiao. Li Xiao was taken aback. Damn, why is this girl staring at me like that? Is it because of my handsome looks that she has developed a crush on me? In Young Xiao's mind, Li Xiao's voice echoed once more. What is happening? Am I hearing Li Xiao's thoughts? This time, Yun Xiao realized clearly that Li Xiao had not spoken, yet his voice resonated in her mind. Still looking? Am I really that charming, to leave Yun Xiao so dazed and confused? Young Xiao's mind echoed with Li Xiao's voice again. Narcissist. Yun Xiao, infuriated, stamped her foot and turned to speed away. Yun Xiao, wait for me. Li Xiao grinned, hastily following her on his cloud. Upon reaching Bo Palace, Yun Xiao descended from her cloud and hurriedly bowed to the Tongtian Jiadu. Master, I have brought Li Xiao here. Seeing the Tongtian U's face dark with fury, Li Xiao secretly grinned and quickly stepped forward, bowing. Disciple Li Xiao pays respects to the master. Chapter 2. The abundance of beauties in the Take Your Seats. After a moment of silence, the Tongtian, with a grim expression, exclaimed, Yes, master. Li Xiao grinned and turned to his seat, plopping down with a thud. The Tongtian sat majestically on his cloud bed, taking a deep breath to regain his composure before commencing his sermon. When a sage speaks, it is with eloquence that dazzles, akin to a golden lotus blossoming, a torrent of words flowing forth, with celestial auspiciousness manifesting all around. The listened in a state of rapture, their expressions adorably foolish. Li Xiao hesitated for a moment, then perked up his ears, intending to listen attentively for once. The Tongtian, noticing this, felt a flicker of hope. Perhaps this troublesome lad would finally behave. However, the next instant, the once attentive Li Xiao exhaled a deep sigh, stretched lazily, seemingly preparing to doze off. Damn it! I thought he had changed, but it seems old habits die hard. The Tongtian's beard trembled in anger, his face darkening once more as he shot Li Xiao a fierce glare. Feeling the intensity of the gaze, Li Xiao sheepishly smiled and refrained from sleeping. Yet, not sleeping was one thing. His eyes wandered restlessly, scanning the surroundings. The Tongtian nearly felt his nose twist in frustration, deciding to bide his time for retribution after the sermon concluded. Meanwhile, Yun Xiao was listening intently when she suddenly sensed a burning gaze upon her. Without needing to look, she knew it was Li Xiao, once again admiring her. This Yun Xiao's figure is truly remarkable. Her appearance is simply exquisite. Simultaneously, Li Xiao's voice echoed in her mind once more. The mere thought of it nearly drove Yun Xiao to madness. Calm down, calm down. The master is speaking. Once he finishes, I shall give this scoundrel a piece of my mind. Yun Xiao struggled to suppress her fury, forcing herself to concentrate on the discourse. Yet, she soon realized her error. Li Xiao's gaze was too intense, almost brazen, making it impossible for her to focus on the teachings. His voice echoed in her mind intermittently. This both of the Yun Xiao sisters are strikingly beautiful. Yun Xiao is the mature type. Qiong Xiao is the delicate beauty, and Bi Xiao is quite the lowly. These three sisters each possess their own charm. I like them all. Yun Xiao nearly exploded with rage, her fair face turning ashen as she shot Li Xiao a furious glare. Yun Xiao lifted her gaze towards the fifth peak, her beautiful eyes shimmering with an unusual brilliance. What do you want to see fifth senior brother for? What purpose does it serve to meet that useless one? She remarked, her lips curling in dissatisfaction. Silence from now on. You are forbidden to speak ill of fifth senior brother. Yunxiao suddenly turned to Bixiao, admonishing her sternly. Ah, elder sister, you. Bixiao was taken aback by Yunxiao's intense reaction, exclaiming in surprise. Xiao also looked at Yunxiao, her expression one of shock. With a sigh, Yunxiao gazed at both Xiao and Bixiao, forcing a smile as she said, Sisters, from this day forth, you must not utter a single disparaging word about fifth senior brother. Remember this. He is not useless, but an unparalleled genius. Unparalleled genius? Xiao and Bixiao's faces twitched in disbelief, staring at Yunxiao as if they were meeting a stranger. They simply could not fathom why Yunxiao would proclaim Li Xiao as a genius. A genius who spent his days idling and sleeping soundly? Let us proceed to pay our respects to fifth senior brother. And remember, when we encounter him, we must not be disrespectful, Yunxiao instructed. Understood. Xiao and Bixiao nodded obediently. With her mind set at ease, Yunxiao turned and made her way up the fifth peak, followed closely by her two younger sisters. Elder sister, why do you think she suddenly declared fifth senior brother to be an unparalleled genius? Bixiao could no longer contain her curiosity and whispered. Who knows? Xiao replied, equally puzzled. Previously, their elder sister had regarded Li Xiao as a useless individual, showing no interest in him. Today, however, Yunxiao had taken the initiative to visit him. Speaking of him with such respect, how could the two sisters not be astonished and intrigued? Sister, do you think our elder sister has taken a liking to fifth senior brother? Bixiao's eyes sparkled mischievously as she glanced at Yunxiao, whispering to Xiao. What? Xiao's eyes widened in shock. Yunxiao shot a fierce glare at Xiao and Bixiao, causing them to quickly lower their heads, focusing intently on their steps. I will reiterate. When we meet fifth senior brother, do not act rudely, Yunxiao insisted, still feeling uneasy. Yes. Xiao and Bixiao replied obediently. As the eldest sister, Yunxiao was highly respected despite her younger sisters' personalities. She turned and headed towards the entrance of the fifth cave. Upon arrival, Yunxiao adjusted her attire and respectfully called out, Is fifth senior brother present in the cave? Yunxiao has come to seek an audience with you. Inside the fifth cave, Li Xiao was in a deep slumber when Yunxiao's voice roused him. Blinking in confusion, he mumbled, Yunxiao? What does she want with me? He felt puzzled and began to walk outside. The three sisters then beheld Li Xiao, who emerged with drowsy eyes and an air of weariness. Well, it seems a useless person truly is useless, only knowing how to sleep and lacking ambition. Xiao and Bixiao exchanged disdainful glances at the sight. Yet, Yunxiao thought to herself, fifth senior brother is merely concealing his true talent. A genius who does not flaunt his abilities. This is the mark of a true master. Fifth senior brother, I have brought my two sisters to visit you. May we come in? Yunxiao gazed at Li Xiao with fervor. Oh, please come in, Li Xiao replied hastily. Thus, Li Xiao welcomed the three sisters into the cave, where they each took their seats. Oh, what do I owe the pleasure of this unexpected visit from the three sisters? Li Xiao asked, looking bewildered. Yunxiao stood up and performed a deep bow, saying, Thank you, fifth senior brother. Ah? What is happening? Am I seeing things? Is my elder sister actually bowing to this useless one? Xiao and Bixiao exclaimed in astonishment. Li Xiao was equally baffled, staring at Yunxiao with confusion, and quickly helped her back up, asking, Why is Yunxiao acting this way? Such pretense. Fifth senior brother is quite the actor, Yunxiao thought, feeling frustrated. Why did he choose to disguise himself as a useless person when he was clearly talented? Chapter 5. Is the celestial of steady light betraying the sect? Yunxiao's anger. What is going on? Why is Yunxiao looking at me like that? Could it be that my handsome appearance has captivated her? Is Yunxiao treating me so well? Should I take the opportunity to pursue her? In the next moment, Yunxiao heard Li Xiao's thoughts, and her cheeks flushed with embarrassment as she helplessly gazed at him, thinking, fifth senior brother is truly not serious. Yunxiao, what was that all about? Li Xiao, sensing the unusual gaze from Yunxiao, inquired suspiciously. Fifth senior brother, I have come to ask you about the 8-9 profound arts that our teacher spoke of. Yunxiao hesitated, preparing to test Li Xiao. My elder sister is actually asking this useless one for advice. Xiao and Bixiao were left speechless, struggling to believe their ears. While our teacher was lecturing, this useless one was sleeping soundly. How could he possibly know the 8-9 profound arts? At that moment, Li Xiao's voice echoed in Yunxiao's mind again. To her shock, Yun Xiao exclaimed. I never expected fifth senior brother to be familiar with the 9 revolutions profound arts. No wonder he was sleeping during the lesson on the 8-9 profound arts. Yun Xiao, I do not know the 8-9 profound arts either. You should seek someone else, Li Xiao shrugged, looking at Yun Xiao. Such pretense. You know the 9 revolutions profound arts, but not the 8-9 profound arts? Yun Xiao pouted, casting a resentful glance at Li Xiao. Why is Yun Xiao looking at me like that? Her gaze is so sorrowful. Could it be that she truly has feelings for me? Yun Xiao's thoughts were interrupted when a voice called out from outside the cave. Why has the celestial of steady light come here? Li Xiao asked, bewildered. After a moment of hesitation, he replied, Come in. Shortly after, the celestial of steady light entered. Upon seeing him, Li Xiao's expression darkened, his face clouding with displeasure as he coldly asked, Celestial of steady light, what brings you here? Why does fifth senior brother treat the celestial of steady light like this? Yun Xiao thought, filled with confusion. When they had come to see Li Xiao, he was somewhat carefree and friendly. Yet his demeanor shifted entirely upon encountering the celestial of steady light. This left Yun Xiao utterly perplexed. Humph, the celestial of steady light may betray our sect in the future. Should I eliminate him? But then again, he has not yet betrayed the sect, and if I were to kill him, it would draw the teacher's ire. Besides, my own strength is lacking. It would be best to bide my time. Just then, Li Xiao's voice echoed in Yun Xiao's mind once more. What? The celestial of steady light intends to betray the sect. Yun Xiao's eyes narrowed in fury, fixing an intense glare on the celestial of steady light. She had completely placed her trust in Li Xiao. The celestial of steady light sensed the hostility radiating from Li Xiao and furrowed his brow, unsure why Li Xiao was treating him this way. Hesitating for a moment, he clasped his hands and said, Fifth senior brother, the teacher requests your presence. Oh, I understand. You may go, Li Xiao replied nonchalantly. The celestial of steady light bowed to Li Xiao, then to the 3 sisters. Before turning to leave, Yun Xiao, the teacher is calling for me. After the celestial of steady light departed, Li Xiao turned to Yun Xiao and said, Oh, fifth senior brother, you may go. We shall take our leave. Yun Xiao promptly bowed to Li Xiao and then led Xiong Xiao and Bi Xiao out. Li Xiao also exited the 5th peak, riding a cloud towards the Bo Palace. Along the way, Yun Xiao wore a gloomy expression. Xiong Xiao and Bi Xiao exchanged worried glances. Elder sister, do you have something on your mind? Bi Xiao could no longer contain her curiosity and asked. Yun Xiao opened her mouth to respond but found herself at a loss for words. After all, this matter was too precarious. She had heard Li Xiao's thoughts and learned that the celestial of steady light intended to betray the sect. Yet she lacked concrete evidence. Furthermore, if she spoke out, wouldn't that mean betraying Li Xiao as well? Seeing Yun Xiao's silence, Xiong Xiao gritted her teeth and pressed, Elder sister, have you developed feelings for fifth senior brother? Ah? Yun Xiao's face turned crimson as she glared at Xiong Xiao and Bi Xiao, exclaiming, You 2 little brats, stop making baseless accusations, elder sister. It's not that we are making baseless accusations. It's just that you went to visit fifth senior brother for no reason, and your gaze towards him is clearly different. Xiong Xiao spilled out her thoughts in a rush. Elder sister, with your charm, why would you settle for someone like fifth senior brother? Bi Xiao interjected anxiously. Yun Xiao's cheeks flushed with embarrassment, and she shot a furious glare at her 2 younger sisters, retorting, Nonsense. I do not like Li Xiao. I'm merely what? Xiong Xiao pressed, refusing to let the matter go. Ugh. I can't explain it to you, Yun Xiao exclaimed, frustrated, as she took to the skies, leaving her sisters behind. Xiong Xiao and Bi Xiao exchanged knowing glances and declared in unison, Something's definitely wrong with that. The 2 sisters hurried after Yun Xiao. As the 3 sisters departed from Jinao Island, heading towards Sanxian Island, they suddenly spotted a figure riding a cloud. Upon closer inspection, it was none other than the celestial of steady light. The celestial of steady light noticed the 3 sisters as well and approached them, clasping his hands and saying, Greetings, 3 sisters. Xiong Xiao and Bi Xiao hurriedly returned the greeting, Greetings, senior brother. However, Yun Xiao stood frozen in place, her beautiful eyes glinting with a cold light as she glared at the celestial of steady light with gritted teeth. The celestial of steady light was taken aback, utterly bewildered by Yun Xiao's animosity. Yun Xiao, what is the meaning of this? He asked, puzzled. Elder sister, what is wrong? Bi Xiao tugged at Yun Xiao's sleeve, concerned. Elder sister, do you not recognize this as senior brother steady light? Xiong Xiao quickly reminded her. Since departing from Jinao Island, Yun Xiao's demeanor had been off. I know he is the celestial of steady light. Yun Xiao replied through clenched teeth, still fixated on him. Suddenly, she revealed a celestial sword, glaring fiercely at the celestial of steady light as she declared, "Celestial of steady light, prepare to die." With that, she swung her sword towards him. Chapter 6. Yun Xiao strikes at the celestial of steady light. Causing an uproar in the sect, the celestial of steady light had never anticipated that Yun Xiao would suddenly attack him. Caught off guard, he was struck on the shoulder by her blade, blood gushing forth as he grimaced in pain, retreating while glaring at Yun Xiao in shock and fury. "Yun Xiao, what madness is this?" he shouted, his eyes wide with disbelief. Qiong Xiao and Bi Xiao were equally taken aback, utterly confused as to why Yun Xiao would suddenly attack the celestial of steady light. "Elder sister, what are you doing?" "He has seen your brother steady light," Qiong Xiao exclaimed. "Yes, elder sister, what is wrong with you?" Bi Xiao echoed in shock. "Humph, it is precisely because he is the celestial of steady light that I must strike him down," Yun Xiao retorted angrily, brandishing her sword. "Celestial of steady light, prepare to meet your end." As she spoke, she charged at him with her sword raised. The celestial of steady light was startled and quickly turned to escape, transforming into a streak of light as he fled. Yun Xiao was unwilling to let him escape, pursuing him with her sword as she shouted, "Celestial of steady light, even if you run to the ends of the earth today, I shall slay you." "Yun Xiao, you lunatic! What have I done to provoke you? You intend to kill me?" The celestial of steady light's frustration mounted as he cried out while fleeing for his life. The two were soon separated by vast distances, quickly reaching Jinao Island. "Help! Help! Yun Xiao has gone mad and is trying to kill me," the celestial of steady light yelled. Gradually, several members of the Jia sect gathered, witnessing the scene of Yun Xiao attacking the celestial of steady light, leaving them all bewildered. Yun Xiao was known as the favored disciple of the Tongtian teacher, possessing a gentle and amiable disposition. How could she suddenly draw her sword against the celestial of steady light? As the chase continued on Jinao Island, a plump Taoist emerged. This Taoist was none other than the chief disciple of the Jia sect, Dubao Taoist. "What is happening here?" Dubao Taoist frowned, suspicion etched on his face. Seeing Dubao Taoist, the celestial of steady light felt a surge of hope, rushing over to him and clasping his hands. "Senior brother, save me, that Yun Xiao has lost her mind and suddenly attacked me with a sword. Please help me resolve this." At that moment, Yun Xiao flew towards them, sword in hand. Dubao Taoist furrowed his brow, swiftly positioning himself between Yun Xiao and the celestial of steady light, saying, "Yun Xiao, stop. Why are you harming your fellow sect member? Senior brother, step aside. I must kill this scoundrel today," Yun Xiao insisted, her face flushed with urgency. Dubao Taoist, completely perplexed, turned to the celestial of steady light and asked, "Celestial of steady light, how have you offended Yun Xiao? You must apologize to her so we can resolve this matter amicably." The celestial of steady light was on the verge of tears, exclaiming, "Senior brother, I truly have not offended her. I was traveling and saw the three sisters. I merely approached to greet them. Who could have known Yun Xiao would draw her sword against me? If I had not fled quickly, I might have met my end. Then why did Yun Xiao attack you?" Dubao Taoist asked, skepticism evident on his face. After all, Yun Xiao was known for her good temper and friendly demeanor. It was hard to believe she would attack without reason. It was evident that the celestial of steady light must have angered her somehow, prompting this violent reaction. The celestial of steady light, nearly in tears, pleaded, "Senior brother, believe me, I have not offended Yun Xiao. She has truly lost her mind and attacked me on sight." Dubao Taoist was left speechless, unable to comprehend the situation. At that moment, Qiong Xiao and Bi Xiao arrived, breathless from their pursuit. "Sister, are you all right?" Bi Xiao asked, concerned. Yun Xiao shook her head slightly, her eyes still glinting with anger as she glared at the celestial of steady light, clearly not ready to let him off the hook. Dubao Taoist turned to Qiong Xiao and Bi Xiao, asking, "Qiong Xiao, Bi Xiao, celestial of steady light claims that your elder sister Yun Xiao attacked him without provocation. Is this true?" Qiong Xiao and Bi Xiao exchanged glances, knowing they should support their elder sister, but the truth remained. They nodded gently. "Yun Xiao, what on earth happened? Why did you draw your sword against the celestial of steady light?" Dubao Taoist inquired, utterly perplexed. "Enough of this noise. What kind of behavior is this? Yun Xiao, come to Bo Palace." Just then, a voice echoed from the direction of Bo Palace, belonging to the Tongtian teacher. Yuanxiao shot one last fierce glare at the celestial of steady light before sheathed her sword and walked towards Bo Palace. Upon entering, she respectfully greeted the Tongtian teacher, saying, "Disciple pays her respects to the teacher." The Master of Heaven gazed at Yuanxiao in bewilderment and inquired, "Yuanxiao, what on earth has transpired? Why must you slay the immortal Dingguang?" Earlier, the Master of Heaven had utilized his divine sight to comprehend the sequence of events, and indeed, it was Yuanxiao who had inexplicably drawn his sword to strike at Dingguang. The peculiarity of this incident was undeniable. The Master of Heaven knew Yuanxiao all too well. His character was gentle and virtuous, making him the most obedient disciple. Unless something extraordinary had occurred, Yuanxiao would never have acted in such a manner. Yet, the specifics eluded even him, a sage. Yuanxiao hesitated, glancing back at the entrance of the Bo Palace. With a flourish of his sleeve, the Master of Heaven established multiple barriers, gazing intently at Yuanxiao, and said, "Yuanxiao, now you may speak freely. With these barriers in place, not even the celestial sages will hear our discourse." After a moment's hesitation, Yuanxiao clasped his hands respectfully and replied, "Master, I have reason to believe that the long-eared immortal Dingguang intends to betray our sect. Hence I sought to eliminate this traitor. Is Dingguang truly planning to defect? How did you come by this knowledge?" The Master of Heaven raised an eyebrow, a sense of alarm stirring within him. Such a matter was indeed grave, for betrayal was no trivial affair. Yet, what perplexed the Master was how Yuanxiao could be so certain of Dingguang's intentions. Even he, as a sage, could not discern such matters, especially with the impending calamity that clouded the heavens and obscured the future. Drawing a deep breath, Yuanxiao looked at the Master of Heaven and declared, "Master, I learned of Dingguang's treachery from my senior brother, Li Xiao, Li Xiao." The Master of Heaven's brow furrowed in surprise. "Indeed, Master?" Yuanxiao nodded affirmatively. The Master of Heaven rolled his eyes, a smirk on his lips. "Yuanxiao, if you had received this information from another source, I might have believed it, but your senior brother, Li Xiao, is known for his fanciful tales. How can you trust his words?" "What? Li Xiao knows the nine turns mystical art?" The Master of Heaven was astounded. For in his eyes, Li Xiao was the quintessential wayward child. Previously, Li Xiao had promised to diligently cultivate, only to return to slumber, leaving the Master disappointed. Thus, the Master had ceased to regard Li Xiao's words with any seriousness. "Master, it was not Li Xiao who said this." "Not Li Xiao? But did you not just assert that it was Li Xiao's claim?" The Master of Heaven was equally perplexed and gazed at Yuanxiao in confusion. Yuanxiao managed a wry smile, looking at the Master and said, "Master, what I am about to reveal may seem quite extraordinary, yet every word is true. You must believe me." The Master of Heaven nodded. "Yuanxiao, speak on." Yuanxiao gazed earnestly at the Master, her lovely features twitching slightly. "Master, I can hear the thoughts of my senior brother, Li Xiao." "Heard his thoughts?" "This." The Master of Heaven's expression contorted, his disbelief palpable as he gazed at Yuanxiao. "Yuanxiao, to claim you can hear thoughts. Master, I understand this seems implausible, but it is indeed true, and I possess evidence." Knowing the Master would be skeptical, Yuanxiao hurriedly continued, "Oh? Evidence?" The Master of Heaven's interest was piqued. His eyebrows raised in disbelief. To eavesdrop on thoughts was an extraordinary claim, and even a sage like him could not fathom the inner workings of another's mind, only glimpsing their actions through the flowing river of time. Yuanxiao revealed the 9 curves yellow river array disc and explained, "Master, during your teachings, I overheard Li Xiao mention that the 3 sisters would encounter a fortuitous opportunity to obtain 3 treasures. After departing from Golden Turtle Island, I sought them out, and indeed, I discovered 3 treasures, one of which is this 9 curves yellow river array disc, while the other 2 are in the hands of my sisters. Is it truly so extraordinary?" The Master of Heaven gasped in astonishment. Yuanxiao smiled ruefully. "Every word I say is the truth." Even the Master of Heaven found himself momentarily speechless. The notion that Li Xiao could perceive the fortunes of others was staggering. Could it be that his previous calculations were correct? Was the future of their sect entwined with Li Xiao? The Master of Heaven's eyes shimmered with a flicker of insight as he pondered aloud. Previously, when Li Xiao had first arrived, the Master had foreseen that the future of their sect lay with him, which had prompted the Master to seek out and accept him as a disciple. However, Li Xiao's subsequent behavior had led to the Master's growing disappointment, causing him to dismiss his earlier conclusion. Now, Yun Xiao's revelations rekindled the master's astonishment. Could it be that this disciple of his had been hiding remarkable abilities? The master of heaven's thoughts darkened with frustration. This rebellious disciple has even deceived me. After a moment of contemplation, the master turned to Yun Xiao with suspicion. But what does this have to do with your attack on Dingguang? Yun Xiao's enchanting eyes sparkled with conviction as she replied, Master, during my visit to Li Xiao, Dingguang was also present. Li Xiao's demeanor towards Dingguang was notably cold. Later, I heard Li Xiao's thoughts. He expressed concern that Dingguang would betray our sect and even contemplated whether to eliminate him. However, Li Xiao refrained from acting out of respect for your authority. Did Li Xiao truly express such thoughts? That Dingguang would betray us? The Master of Heaven was still grappling with the enormity of the claim. Yun Xiao nodded firmly. Indeed, Master, I heard it clearly. There is no mistake. The Master of Heaven's gaze flickered with intensity as he instructed, Yun Xiao, do not speak of your ability to hear Li Xiao's thoughts to him. Should you uncover any further information, report it to me immediately. Yes, Master. Yun Xiao bowed respectfully. After a moment's hesitation, Yun Xiao added, Master, there is one more matter, and I am uncertain whether to disclose it. The Master urged her. Speak freely. Yun Xiao took a deep breath. I also overheard Li Xiao's thoughts about possessing the legendary 9 turns mystical art. What? The 9 turns mystical art? Is that true? The Master of Heaven was taken aback. The 9 turns mystical art was the technique of the Panga deity and the essence of the creation of the heavens. The 3 pure ones were manifestations of Panga's primordial spirit, each possessing fragments of the heavenly mysteries. Despite their unity, their individual interpretations and hidden agendas had prevented them from fully comprehending the 9 turns mystical art, leading them to settle for the 8-9 mystical art instead. The realization that Li Xiao could wield the 9 turns mystical art left the Master of Heaven astounded. In no wonder Li Xiao had been asleep during the Master's teachings on the 8-9 mystical art. He had already mastered the superior technique. Indeed, I heard it clearly. There can be no doubt, Yun Xiao affirmed. That rascal has concealed his abilities well. The Master of Heaven seethed in disbelief. After a moment's thought, he instructed, Yun Xiao, keep Li Xiao's knowledge of the 9 turns mystical art a secret, even from Zhao Gongming and the others. Yes, Master, I understand. Yun Xiao acknowledged, fully aware of the gravity of the situation. The Master continued, as for Dingguang's matter, do not make it known. I shall handle it, using your cultivation incident as a pretext to cover for you. This matter shall be dealt with on my terms. Yes, Master, Yun Xiao replied obediently. Now, go forth, Yun Xiao, the Master said dismissively. Yes, Master, I take my leave. Please take care. Yun Xiao bowed and departed the Bo Palace. As she exited, the Master of Heaven pondered, could it be that I have become a voyeur? Yun Xiao left the Bo Palace, glanced at the long-eared immortal Dingguang, and then turned to depart from Golden Turtle Island, riding the clouds back to the 3 Immortals Island. Wait for us, big sister. Qiong Xiao and Bai Xiao hurriedly chased after her, leaving Taoist Duobao and the long-eared immortal Dingguang in a state of bewilderment. At that moment, the gates of the Bo Palace swung open, emanating a purple aura as the Master of Heaven's voice resonated. Dingguang, Yun Xiao's actions were a result of her cultivation gone awry. Take this 7-turn golden pill to aid in your recovery. A golden pill floated forth, radiating an enchanting glow. Dingguang's eyes brightened as he hurriedly accepted the elixir. Bowing to the Bo Palace, thank you, Master. An incident of cultivation gone awry? Taoist Duobao frowned, his suspicions aroused. However, he dared not question the Master of Heaven and simply retreated respectfully. With that, the gates of the Bo Palace closed. The Master of Heaven sat upon his cloud bed, divine light shimmering behind him, his eyes gleaming with curiosity as he murmured, I never anticipated that rebellious disciple would master the 9 turns mystical art. Now, what is he up to? As he spoke, the Master directed his divine sense towards the 5th peak. An unusual occurrence unfolded. As the Master's divine sense swept toward the 5th peak, a mysterious force repelled his probing, rendering him unable to discern Li Xiao's activities. Unbeknownst to him, Li Xiao was diligently practicing the 9 turns mystical art, employing the Chaos Pearl to shield his secrets from prying eyes. The Chaos Pearl, one of the 4 great primal treasures, was renowned for its ability to obscure everything, even the Tao and heavenly path, let alone a sage. How peculiar! What could possibly be obstructing my divine sense? The Master of Heaven retracted his perception, astonishment etched across his face. As a sage, The Master of Heaven was accustomed to seeing all within the vast expanse of the primordial realm. Only in unique locations, such as other sages' sanctuaries, did he encounter barriers. Yet, now he found himself unable to glimpse what transpired on the fifth peak, which was situated above his own Golden Turtle Island. The only logical conclusion was that Li Xiao had devised a means to conceal his activities. Remarkable, this rascal is indeed full of surprises. The Master of Heaven felt a surge of interest rather than anger, his eyes gleaming with intrigue. With determination, the Master of Heaven stepped forth, crossing to the fifth peak, and stealthily entered the fifth cave. What he witnessed next defied belief. Li Xiao sat cross-legged upon a mat, immersed in meditation, his body aglow with strange runes, while a muscular giant's phantom loomed behind him. Exuding an overwhelming presence, I asked that the true form of Pangu. Could it be the Nine Turns mystical art? This insolent child truly possesses it. The Master of Heaven was utterly astounded, his mind racing with disbelief. Who dares intrude upon my sanctum? Just then, Li Xiao opened his eyes, a beam of divine light shooting forth, aimed directly at the Master of Heaven's position. Ah, it's my master. Realizing he had been discovered, the Master of Heaven stepped forward nonchalantly, saying, "Indeed, it is I did what? Master, how could you spy on your disciple?" Li Xiao felt a chill at the thought of his master's voyeuristic tendencies, pondering whether the master indulged in such behavior out of boredom. Spy? The Master of Heaven's expression darkened, glaring at Li Xiao. If I had not spied, how would I have known that you possessed the Nine Turns mystical art? The master chose to keep Yun Xiao's ability to hear Li Xiao's thoughts a secret, and Li Xiao, feeling a mix of confusion and resignation, retorted, "You see, you've admitted it yourself. It is indeed spying." The Master of Heaven sighed in exasperation, stepping closer to Li Xiao, scrutinizing him from head to toe. "You little rascal, you've hidden your talents well now. Confess, what other secrets do you harbor?" "Secrets? What secrets?" Li Xiao feigned ignorance. "Humph." The Master of Heaven scoffed, contemplating using Yun Xiao to eavesdrop on Li Xiao's thoughts. Under the master's penetrating gaze, Li Xiao adopted a demeanor akin to a chastised child, lowering his head with an earnest expression that evoked sympathy. The Master of Heaven rolled his eyes. Enough of this pretense of innocence. Now, the Nine Turns mystical art you practiced. I require a copy. As he spoke, the master tossed a jade slip to Li Xiao. "A master, how can you so brazenly demand something from your disciple?" Li Xiao replied cautiously, eyeing the master warily. He could handle acquiring treasures himself, but was reluctant to allow others to do so without proper exchange. The Master of Heaven shot Li Xiao a dismissive glare. "Enough chatter. What do you require in exchange for the Nine Turns mystical art, master? Those 24C stabilizing pearls, are they with you?" Li Xiao's demeanor shifted, a smile brightening his face. The Master of Heaven produced the 24 pearls and tossed them to Li Xiao, grumbling, "Having received these treasures, ensure you diligently document the Nine Turns mystical art, lest you provoke my ire." "Of course, master, rest assured." Li Xiao grinned broadly. In truth, he was committed to fulfilling his promise. After all, he was a disciple of the sect, and the master's strength would ultimately benefit him. Moreover, the master had treated him well, allowing him to remain within the sect despite his lethargy, even offering protection in certain matters. Deep down, Li Xiao recognized the master and the sect as his true home. The Master of Heaven nodded, urging, "Once you have completed it, deliver it to me at the Bo Palace." With that, the Master of Heaven departed the fifth cave, while Li Xiao began to fondle the 24C stabilizing pearls with joy, exclaiming, "Ah, treasures! Magnificent treasures, they are mine." Just then, the Master's voice echoed with a disapproving huff, prompting Li Xiao to quickly hide the pearls and eagerly proceed to inscribe the Nine Turns mystical art. Chapter 9. What? Are we all doomed? In the Eastern Sea, on the Three Immortals Island, since Yun Xiao had returned, she seemed to have transformed into a different person, exhibiting a certain melancholy. Just then, a resounding tiger's roar echoed through the air. The three sisters looked up to see a figure riding a black tiger approaching. "Brother!" Sanxiao exclaimed joyfully, hurrying forward to pay their respects. The visitor was none other than Zhao Gongming. Looking at the three sisters, Zhao Gongming smiled and said, "It has been many years. How have you fared, my three younger sisters?" "Brother, we are well," they replied. Qiong Xiao hesitated, words unspoken. Zhao Gongming noticed her silence, furrowing his brow slightly, yet refrained from probing further. After exchanging pleasantries, Zhao Gongming seized an opportunity to draw Qiong Xiao and Bai Xiao aside, inquiring, "Dear sisters, how is your elder sister faring? Something seems done amiss. Oh dear brother, our elder sister has succumbed to a demonic affliction." Bai Xiao exclaimed anxiously, "Demonic affliction? What does that mean?" Zhao Gongming was taken aback. "Not long ago, our elder sister actually drew her sword and attacked senior brother Dingguang," Bai Xiao explained. "What? She attacked Dingguang?" This. Zhao Gongming's face twitched in disbelief. Was this truly the gentle and virtuous Yu Xiao he once knew? Master mentioned that our elder sister had gone astray in her cultivation. Strayed in her cultivation? Zhao Gongming gaped. Moreover, she has taken to visiting the fifth peak frequently. It seems our elder sister may. Qiong Xiao hesitated before continuing, may have developed feelings for senior brother Wu. What? How can that be? How could Yu Xiao harbor feelings for that good-for-nothing? Zhao Gongming was astounded, his anger flaring. What on earth has transpired? Upon hearing the news, Zhao Gongming was incensed, exclaiming, "Li Xiao is notorious for being a useless disciple. I cannot allow my sister to be entangled with such a wastrel. It's possible that senior brother Wu has cast some sort of spell on our elder sister," Bai Xiao added, sticking out her adorable tongue. Upon hearing this, Zhao Gongming seethed, gritting his teeth, "Humph, you Li Xiao. How dare you target my sister? I shall make you pay with that." Zhao Gongming mounted his black tiger and departed Sanxian Island, heading straight for Jinao Island. Oh dear brother. Qiong Xiao and Bai Xiao cried out in alarm. Just then, Yu Xiao emerged, her brow furrowed upon seeing Zhao Gongming riding away. She turned to Qiong Xiao and Bai Xiao, demanding, "What did you two say to brother? Why did he leave in a fit of anger?" "We didn't say much, just mentioned that elder sister may have feelings for senior brother Wu." Qiong Xiao replied, her tone filled with trepidation. "Oh dear, you two'd," Yu Xiao exclaimed, rushing off on her cloud to pursue Zhao Gongming. "Elder sister, wait for us." Qiong Xiao and Bai Xiao hurried after Yu Xiao. Zhao Gongming, riding his black tiger, arrived at Jinao Island with great fervor. However, upon reaching the island, he felt somewhat deflated, for Jinao Island was the sacred ground of the Tongtian cult master, and he dared not act too rashly. Yet, having come in such a fierce manner, returning now would surely invite ridicule from Qiong Xiao and Bai Xiao. Thus, he steeled himself and continued onward. Upon reaching the fifth peak, Zhao Gongming took a deep breath and cupped his hands, declaring, "Zhao Gongming seeks an audience with senior brother Wu." "Ah? Gongming, my junior brother, please enter." Li Xiao emerged with a cheerful smile. He held a favorable view of Zhao Gongming, who was known as the god of wealth in later times and was a person of great loyalty and camaraderie. Not wishing to confront Li Xiao directly, Zhao Gongming forced a smile and followed him into the cave dwelling. Once inside, as they settled into their seats, Li Xiao beamed at Zhao Gongming and asked, "What brings you here, Gongming?" Before Zhao Gongming could respond, San Xiao rushed in, looking frantic. "Brother, senior brother, are you both all right?" Yu Xiao asked, fearing a confrontation between Zhao Gongming and Li Xiao. "What do you mean, junior sister Yu Xiao? Why would we have any issues?" Li Xiao replied with a chuckle. Yu Xiao sighed in relief, turning to Zhao Gongming, "Brother, things are not as you think. I will explain everything in detail later." "Oh," Zhao Gongming nodded. "What happened?" Li Xiao looked confused, glancing between Zhao Gongming and the sisters. What is going on?" Senior brother, it's nothing. We have some matters to attend to, so we shall take our leave. Farewell." Yu Xiao awkwardly smiled, pulling Zhao Gongming along as they exited. Li Xiao was left bewildered. The Zhao siblings are truly unfortunate. Such devoted individuals, yet ultimately destined for demise. Though Yu Xiao survived, she remains trapped beneath the Qilin cliff, which is indeed lamentable. Just as Yu Xiao exited the fifth cave, she suddenly heard Li Zhao's voice in her mind. Startled, she turned to look at him, her expression one of disbelief. "What? Brother and my two younger sisters are destined for demise. I will be trapped beneath the Qilin cliff?" This, Li Xiao, noticing Yu Xiao's gaze, was momentarily taken aback before flashing a smile he deemed charming. Yu Xiao composed herself, leading Zhao Gongming and the others away, as they departed Jinao Island. Yu Xiao's anxiety grew. She turned to Zhao Gongming, Qiong Xiao, and Bai Xiao, saying, "Brother, sisters, I must seek master for guidance. You should return to Jinao Island and wait for me." "Yu Xiao, what has happened?" Zhao Gongming furrowed his brow. Observing her pallor, "Oh, it's nothing. What could possibly be wrong, brother? You all should return." Yu Xiao forced a smile. "Very well, Yu Xiao. If anything is amiss, do let me know. Take care." We shall return now, Zhao Gongming replied, still concerned. Rest assured, dear brother. We are on Jinao Island. What could go wrong? Yu Xiao insisted with a forced smile. Then we shall await your return on Sanxian Island. Zhao Gongming nodded, leading Qiong Xiao and Bai Xiao away. Yu Xiao hurriedly approached the entrance of the Bio Palace, bowing and proclaiming, Master, I, Yu Xiao, seek an audience. Enter. Came the voice of the Tongtian cult master from within the palace. Yu Xiao stepped inside, finding the Tongtian cult master reclining atop a cloud bed. She bowed deeply, saying, Disciple Yu Xiao pays her respects to Master. Chapter 10. Tongtian is alarmed. Sanshao visits Li Xiao with a wave of his sleeve. The Tongtian cult master erected a barrier, gazing intently at Yu Xiao. Yu Xiao, what has transpired? Yu Xiao hurriedly bowed, stating, Master, I have heard Senior Brother Wu's voice. He said. Noticing Yu Xiao's troubled expression, the Tongtian cult master frowned, asking, Yu Xiao, what has happened? Why do you appear so distressed? Yu Xiao was on the verge of tears, looking at the Tongtian cult master, exclaiming, Master, I heard Senior Brother Wu say that my brother Zhao Gongming, along with my two younger sisters Qiong Xiao and Bai Xiao, will meet with calamity, and I will be trapped beneath the Qilin cliff. Please, Master, you must save us. What? Zhao Gongming, Qiong Xiao, and Bai Xiao are all doomed, and you will be trapped beneath the Qilin cliff? This. The Tongtian cult master was taken aback, nearly stumbling from his cloud bed. Yu Xiao sobbed, tears brimming in her eyes as she pleaded, Master, what shall we do? This. The Tongtian cult master's eyes flickered with determination as he regarded Yu Xiao. Yu Xiao, do not despair. I will ensure your safety. Here, take these talismans for protection. As he spoke, the Tongtian cult master conjured 4 shimmering talismans inscribed with mysterious runes, offering them to Yu Xiao. Receiving the talismans, Yu Xiao felt a hint of calm wash over her. She bowed deeply, expressing her gratitude. Thank you, Master. The Tongtian cult master closed his eyes, calculating. However, with the calamity of the gods still a cycle away and the conflict between the witches and the immortals yet to unfold, the celestial secrets remained unclear, even to him. After a while, he opened his eyes, fixing Yu Xiao with a furrowed brow. Yu Xiao, do not fret. We must ascertain the cause of these events. For now, visit the 5th peak frequently and engage with Li Xiao. Perhaps you may uncover more useful information, allowing me to devise a plan to help you through this tribulation. Yes, Master. Yu Xiao responded with a bow before retreating. Within Bio Palace, the Tongtian cult master lay upon his cloud bed, his aura shimmering with blue light, his eyes gleaming fiercely, as if 2 sharp swords aimed at Kunlun Mountain, muttering, Humph, could the calamity faced by the Yu Xiao siblings be related to the Chan sect? Meanwhile, Yu Xiao emerged from the Bio Palace, glancing toward the 5th peak. After a moment's hesitation, she took flight on her cloud towards Sanxian Island. Upon her arrival, Zhao Gongming and the others approached her. Noticing her pale complexion, Zhao Gongming furrowed his brow and asked, Sister, what has happened? Why do you look so troubled? Taking a deep breath, Yu Xiao faced Zhao Gongming, Qiong Xiao, and Bai Xiao, saying, Brother, sisters, Master has foreseen a calamity befalling us. We must be cautious. Here are protective talismans for Master. You must keep them close. Given the mysterious nature of Li Zhao's situation and the Tongtian cult master's instructions not to disclose details, Yu Xiao attributed the warning to her master. Zhao Gongming and the others accepted the talismans, tucking them safely away. Bai Xiao could not contain her curiosity, asking, Elder sister, what calamity are we facing? Yu Xiao shook her head slightly. I am uncertain. Master did not specify, but he mentioned. What did Master say? Qiong Xiao pressed urgently. Yu Xiao regarded Zhao Gongming and her 2 younger sisters, hesitating before revealing. Master indicated that we are likely to face a blood disaster and must be vigilant. However, the resolution to this calamity lies with Senior Brother Li Xiao. Senior Brother Li Xiao. That good-for-nothing can help us avert disaster? Bai Xiao scoffed, rolling her eyes. Sister, do not speak ill of Senior Brother Li Xiao. Master believes he possesses great talent and is a person of profound wisdom. To overcome this calamity, we will need his assistance, Yu Xiao admonished gently. Understood, Bai Xiao replied, sticking out her tongue playfully. Yu Xiao, is that why you plan to visit the 5th peak? Zhao Gongming inquired. Indeed, Yu Xiao affirmed with a nod. Realizing this, Zhao Gongming, Qiong Xiao, and Bai Xiao exchanged glances. Yu Xiao declared, Brother, sisters, Let us pay a visit to Senior Brother Wu. Agreed. Zhao Gongming nodded. No, brother, elder sister, could Master have made a mistake? With Senior Brother Wu's limited abilities, how could he possibly help us overcome this calamity? Bai Xiao questioned, skepticism evident in her voice. Sister, do not speak carelessly. Master is a sage. How could he possibly err? Yu Xiao responded, exasperated. Bai Xiao conceded. Thus, the Zhao siblings departed Sanxian Island, soaring toward Jinao Island. Upon their arrival, they headed directly to the fifth peak. Is Senior Brother in the cave dwelling? Zhao Gongming inquired, bowing to the entrance of the fifth cave. Ah, Gongming, my junior brother, and my 3 junior sisters, what brings you back? Li Xiao emerged, a bewildered expression on his face. Senior brother, we are simply here to enjoy some wine and discuss the Tao, Zhao Gongming replied with a grin. Discuss the Tao? What on earth could we possibly discuss? To outsiders, I am merely a typical good-for-nothing, Li Xiao thought, increasingly perplexed by the Zhao siblings' intentions. However, with them already arriving, he had no choice but to invite them in, gesturing for them to enter. Very well, Gongming and sisters, please come in. Thank you, Senior Brother. They chorused gratefully as they entered the fifth cave and took their seats. Zhao Gongming summoned a jar of fine wine. Laughing heartily, I have heard that Senior Brother's capacity for wine is impressive. Let us drink 300 cups today, and not return until we are thoroughly intoxicated. With that, Zhao Gongming filled a large bowl with wine for Li Xiao. Very well. It seems that no good deed goes unpunished, Li Xiao thought, even more confused. Yet, he had never backed down from a drinking challenge. Laughing heartily, he declared, to that, I drink, and downed the wine in one gulp. Zhao Gongming joined in the laughter, raising his own bowl and drinking it down. Zhao Gongming's intention was clear. He aimed to get Li Xiao drunk and extract useful information from him in his inebriated state. However, his plan was misguided. Li Xiao had spent years lounging around Jinao Island, indulging in wine and sleep. He was no novice when it came to drinking. Before Zhao Gongming could even reach the height of intoxication, he collapsed onto the table, fast asleep. Is that it? Li Xiao rolled his eyes, downing another cup. The 3 sisters felt utterly embarrassed. Chapter 11. Li Xiao can actually see through the sage's thoughts. At that moment, a flicker of purple light flashed in Li Xiao's eyes. Utilizing the Eye of Tao, he glimpsed Zhao Gongming's fate. Oh dear, Zhao Gongming is truly unfortunate. He has lost his treasure, and all his efforts have been in vain. Simultaneously, Yu Xiao heard Li Xiao's voice in her mind once again. Huh? Lost and regained? Yu Xiao's delicate features twitched in surprise. Forget it. I will assist Zhao Gongming since I have taken his fortune. I will retrieve the 24 sea calming pearls I acquired from him. And later, I will ask Master for the Supreme Treasure Pearl, which has both offensive and defensive properties. It may benefit Zhao Gongming in the future. Then, Yu Xiao heard Li Xiao's voice again. Huh? Senior Brother actually lost his fortune to Li Xiao. Yu Xiao's expression darkened, her gaze filled with resentment as she looked at Li Xiao. Li Xiao was oblivious to Yu Xiao's reproachful stare. He and the 3 sisters engaged in light-hearted banter, sharing jokes and anecdotes, often mixed with flirtation, causing the sisters to giggle and blush. After what felt like an eternity, Zhao Gongming awoke with a start, glancing around at the sisters, his face turning crimson. Senior Brother, sisters, I have matters to attend to, so I shall take my leave. With that, Zhao Gongming hastily exited the 5th cave. Eager to escape, it turned out that Zhao Gongming had intended to get Li Xiao drunk to extract information, only to find himself inebriated instead. Overcome with embarrassment, he sought an excuse to retreat. Senior Brother, we shall take our leave as well, Yu Xiao said, rising and bowing to Li Xiao. Qiong Xiao and Bai Xiao followed suit, offering their respects before departing. Having already acquired 24 sea calming pearls, Li Xiao pondered, why not retrieve the remaining 12? After a moment's hesitation, he exited the cave, heading outside. Meanwhile, the 3 sisters left the 5th peak in pursuit of Zhao Gongming. However, he had already vanished without a trace. That brother of ours sure can run fast, Bai Xiao remarked, rolling her eyes. Yu Xiao hesitated, glancing at Qiong Xiao and Bai Xiao. Sisters, you should return to Sanxian Island. I have matters to discuss with Master. All right. Qiong Xiao and Bai Xiao agreed, turning back towards Sanxian Island. Yu Xiao then made her way to Jinao Island, heading to the Bio Palace. Upon entering, she bowed to the Tongtian cult master, saying, Master. With a wave of his sleeve, the Tongtian cult master set up multiple barriers, isolating the space from the outside world. He looked at Yu Xiao and asked, Yu Xiao, have you gathered any useful information? Yun Xiao respectfully clasped her hands before Tongtian Jiaozhu and said, Master, I recently journeyed to the fifth peak and heard the heartfelt words of senior brother Li Xiao, who claimed he had seized the opportunity of my elder brother Zhao Gongming. Did you once intend to bestow the 24 sea calming pearls upon my brother? Tongtian Jiaozhu raised an eyebrow in astonishment, exclaiming, Li Xiao knows of this. The human heart is the most inscrutable of entities, and how much more so is the heart of a saint. The fact that Li Xiao was aware of Tongtian Jiaozhu's original intent to gift the 24 sea calming pearls to Zhao Gongming left him utterly astonished. Yun Xiao's delicate face also shifted slightly as she gazed at Tongtian Jiaozhu, exclaiming, Master, could this be true? Tongtian Jiaozhu sighed ruefully, responding, Indeed. I had initially intended to gift the sea calming pearls to Zhao Gongming, but when Li Xiao came to request them, I simply bestowed them upon him. Yun Xiao forced a smile, evidently taken aback by the revelation that Li Xiao could even perceive the thoughts of a saint. It appeared her fifth senior brother harbored many secrets, and she resolved to uncover them one by one to discern what kind of person he truly was. But a peculiar glimmer shone in her beautiful eyes as she silently mused. Yet, unbeknownst to her, curiosity about a man can be a perilous affair. What other secrets does that scoundrel Li Xiao possess? How did he come to know of such matters? Not only did Yun Xiao develop an interest in Li Xiao, but even Tongtian Jiaozhu found himself intrigued, eager to delve into the mysteries surrounding him. After a moment's hesitation, Tongtian Jiaozhu looked at Yun Xiao and continued to inquire, Yun Xiao, what else did you hear? Senior brother Li Xiao also mentioned that my brother Zhao Gongming would encounter an opportunity upon departing from Jinao Island. But it would be a fleeting one, akin to drawing water with a bamboo basket. Yun Xiao recounted accurately the thoughts she had overheard. Tongtian Jiaozhu raised an eyebrow and said, I understand. Yun Xiao, you may go now. If you hear any other valuable information, come report it to me again. Yes, master. Take care. I shall take my leave now. Yun Xiao bowed to Tongtian Jiaozhu and then exited the Bo Palace, preparing to return to Sanxian Island. As she journeyed midway, she suddenly heard a cacophony of shouts from behind, accompanied by the distant roars of tigers and the cries of dragons. What could this be? Yun Xiao was startled and turned to look back. She beheld tumultuous waves crashing violently, and ahead, Zhao Gongming rode a black tiger, galloping across the sea. Following him were countless shrimp soldiers and crab generals, along with divine dragons roaring as they surged toward her. An awe-inspiring sight. At the forefront, a four-clawed golden dragon roared, bellowing, Zhao Gongming, relinquish the sea-calming pearls, or my dragon clan shall not rest until we have our vengeance. Sister, run, Zhao Gongming shouted, unwilling to yield. Upon seeing Yun Xiao, he called out in alarm. Yun Xiao's charming face twitched in alarm, and she joined the ranks of those fleeing. Suddenly, a tremendous roar erupted from the sea, and towering waves surged skyward, forming a massive dragon-shaped water column. With a thunderous roar, a golden dragon, measuring 1,000 feet in length, emerged, blocking the path of Zhao Gongming and Yun Xiao. As they focused their gaze, they saw that the dragon was extraordinarily gigantic, its body coiling like a mountain stretching for millions of miles, its scales as large as pot lids, and its eyes as vast as the sun and moon, emanating terrifying divine light. Is this the Zhulong? Zhao Gongming gasped, his eyes nearly popping from their sockets in disbelief. The Zhulong is still alive. Yun Xiao exclaimed in astonishment. The Zhulong poked its head through the clouds, gazing at Zhao Gongming and Yun Xiao, its voice rumbling like thunder. How dare you trespass into my dragon palace to steal treasures? This is truly outrageous. Do you think my dragon clan is without defenders? Quickly surrender the sea-calming pearls, and perhaps I may spare your lives. Zhao Gongming swallowed hard. Yun Xiao shot him an exasperated glance, nudging him to hand over the treasure. Just as Zhao Gongming was about to relinquish the sea-calming pearls, a streak of light shot forth. The light dissipated to reveal a striking figure, none other than Li Xiao. Zhulong, do not take action, Li Xiao interjected hastily. Who are you? The Zhulong glared at Li Xiao with its enormous eyes. Li Xiao, appearing as a modest gentleman, clasped his hands before the Zhulong and said, Zhulong, I am Li Xiao, the fifth direct disciple of the Tongtian Saint. The direct disciple of the Tongtian Saint. The Zhulong's pupils contracted in alarm, clearly wary. The saint is a transcendent existence in the primordial realm, and even an ancient being like the Zhulong, who has lived for countless ages, would not dare to act recklessly in the presence of a saint. Senior brother Li Xiao, you've arrived. Yun Xiao felt an inexplicable sense of calm upon seeing him. Despite Li Xiao's mid-stage heavenly immortal cultivation, she believed he could surely lead them out of danger. That sea-calming pearl is for you, senior brother Li Xiao. Zhao Gongming had long wished to rid himself of the hot potato that was the sea-calming pearl. Not wanting to burden Yun Xiao, he promptly handed the 12 sea-calming pearls he had pilfered from the Dragon Palace to Li Xiao. Li Xiao accepted them without hesitation. The Zhu Long furrowed its brow, looking at Li Xiao, and said, Li Xiao, my young friend, though you are a direct disciple of a saint, you cannot simply take treasures from my Dragon Palace without consequence. Such an act is akin to that of a thief. Li Xiao directly stored away the 12 sea-calming pearls, gazing at the Zhu Long with a smile and saying, Zhu Long, you have misunderstood. I have come at the behest of my master to retrieve the sea-calming pearls. Of course, my master would not take them without offering something in return. He has promised to help the Dragon Clan eliminate their karmic tribulations. In Bio Palace, Tongtian Jiaozhu's forehead twitched in anger, and he nearly blew his top, furiously exclaiming, Unruly disciple, unruly disciple. How dare you invoke my name to swindle? You think that karmic tribulation can be so easily resolved? How did I end up with such a rebellious disciple? The Dragon Clan's karmic tribulation stemmed from the calamity of the Dragon Han era. Having participated in the primordial conflict of the 3 innate races, the Dragon Clan was forsaken by the heavenly Tao, burdened with boundless karmic retribution. This endless karma descended continuously, and even a saint could only alleviate a momentary burden, unable to eradicate the source of that relentless karmic flow. If Li Xiao were to promise to help Tongtian Jiaozhu in this regard, and if Tongtian Jiaozhu failed to eliminate the Dragon Clan's karma, it would be a tremendous embarrassment. This was precisely why Tongtian Jiaozhu was seething with rage. Meanwhile, upon hearing Li Xiao's words, the Zhu Long's eyes sparkled with hope, exclaiming, Is what you say true? Of course it is true. My master is the Tongtian saint. Surely a saint's words bear no falsehood. Li Xiao replied with a beaming smile, appearing innocent and harmless. Back in Bio Palace, Tongtian Jiaozhu nearly toppled off his cloud bed, exclaiming in exasperation, This unruly disciple truly intends to drive me to madness. The Zhu Long, convinced by Li Xiao's eager assurances, declared, If that is the case, then these 12 sea-calming pearls shall be gifted to the Jie sect, I beseech you, young friend, to ensure you fulfill your promise. The Zhu Long gazed intently at Li Xiao, eager for his word. It was the Zhu Long who suffered the most from the karmic tribulations, as even the ancestral dragon fell victim to its afflictions. Nowadays, the majority of the Dragon Clan's karmic burdens were placed upon the Zhu Long, causing its cultivation to plummet. Alas, the Zhu Long had now regressed to the early stages of quasi-sainthood. If this continued, it was possible that the Zhu Long would fall from the quasi-saint realm entirely, or even face annihilation. If merely 12 sea-calming pearls could alleviate the Dragon Clan's karmic burdens, it would be an undeniably lucrative deal, and the Zhu Long was overjoyed to agree. Rest assured, Zhu Long, my master is a saint. Li Xiao once again pushed the responsibility onto Tongtian Jiaozhu. In Bio Palace, Tongtian Jiaozhu's face had turned as dark as the bottom of a pot, his beard trembling with fury, clearly on the verge of exploding. That old dragon will be waiting for good news from my young friend. The Zhu Long's voice boomed before it dove into the East Sea. With the Zhu Long's departure, the other dragon kings led their shrimp and crab soldiers away, restoring tranquility to the East Sea once more. That was close, that was close. Zhao Gongming breathed a sigh of relief, secretly grinning. Goodness, the title of master is truly useful. It seems I should create a banner proclaiming, I am the direct disciple of the Tongtian saint. At that moment, Yun Xiao heard Li Xiao's thoughts. She looked at him in disbelief, her eyes twitching, exclaiming, Senior brother Li Xiao, you weren't sent by master, were you? Huh? Sister Yun Xiao, you know about this too? Li Xiao admitted candidly. Yun Xiao's expression turned dark. Nearby, Zhao Gongming nearly toppled off the back of his black tiger, nearly plunging into the sea. His eyes widened in disbelief as he looked at Li Xiao, exclaiming, Senior brother Li Xiao, you actually impersonated master's decree. Your audacity knows no bounds. What's the big deal? I reckon master wouldn't be so petty as to punish me over such a trivial matter. Li Xiao replied nonchalantly. In truth, Li Xiao's words were intended to silence Tongtian Jiaozhu. If Tongtian Jiaozhu were to punish him for this, It would only reflect poorly on him. In Bo Palace, Tongtian Jiaozhu let out a muffled groan, nearly suffering internal injuries. Zhao Gongming, Sister Yun Xiao, you two carry on. I shall return to Jinao Island, Li Xiao said with a smile, looking at Zhao Gongming and Yun Xiao. Senior brother, please do as you wish. Zhao Gongming and Yun Xiao quickly clasped their hands in respect. Li Xiao nodded and soared off toward Jinao Island. Upon his arrival, Kuenyo approached him, speaking human words. Senior brother Li Xiao, the master requests your presence. Li Xiao gazed at Kuenyo and grinned, asking, Kuenyo, do you know why master is seeking me? Kuenyo smiled sheepishly and said, Senior brother Li Xiao, it would be wise to be cautious. I've noticed the master's expression is not quite favorable. Not quite favorable? Li Xiao's skin twitched, swallowing hard as he looked at Kuenyo and said, Kuenyo, we have never met, and you have never seen me with that. Li Xiao turned and fled Jinao Island, riding the clouds away. Kuenyo stood there, his bovine face twitching, frantic as he shouted, Senior brother Li Xiao, the master's decree. How dare you not go? Where are you going? I have never seen you. Li Xiao's voice echoed from the distance. In Bo Palace, Tongtian Jiaozhu trembled with rage, his aura swirling chaotically, his eyes red with fury as he roared, Rebellious disciple, rebellious disciple. Kuenyo trembled below, not daring to breathe. After a while, Tongtian Jiaozhu finally calmed down, his eyes flashing with uncertainty as he muttered, Humph, that rebellious disciple only possesses mid-stage, heavenly immortal cultivation. He shall surely suffer some hardship out there. Perhaps a bit of hardship will do him good. After a moment's contemplation, Tongtian Jiaozhu looked at Kuenyo and instructed, Nyoer, go to Sanxian Island and have the three Xiaos secretly protect Li Xiao. Understood, master. Kuenyo sighed in relief and hurriedly departed from Bo Palace, riding the clouds towards Sanxian Island. Upon reaching the outskirts of Sanxian Island, Kuenyo clasped his hands, calling out, Are the three Xiaos on the island? Just then, the three Xiaos and Zhao Gongming emerged. Yun Xiao looked at Kuenyo and asked, Kuenyo, did master send you here with a message? Kuenyo forced a smile and replied, Sister Yun Xiao, it's about fifth senior brother. What about fifth senior brother? Yun Xiao inquired anxiously. Kuenyo, with a wry smile, explained, fifth senior brother defied master's decree and privately left Jinao Island to wander the primordial realm. Master is worried for him and has sent me to convey the order to the three sisters to secretly protect him. Oh? Yun Xiao could only manage a bitter smile. Zhao Gongming's face twitched, his mouth agape in shock, as he realized that Li Xiao had dared to defy Tongtian Jiaozhu's edict. However, upon reflection, he thought that since Li Xiao had the audacity to impersonate Tongtian Jiaozhu, there was likely nothing he wouldn't dare to do, and thus he felt somewhat at ease. If that's the case, then it falls to you, Kuenyo, to make the trip. We shall go at once. Yun Xiao said, bowing to Kuenyo before taking to the skies. Zhao Gongming, having nothing to do, decided to accompany the three Xiaos in secretly protecting Li Xiao. At this moment, Li Xiao was moving slowly due to his low cultivation, allowing Zhao Gongming and the three Xiaos to quickly catch up and lurk in the shadows to protect him. Li Xiao strolled leisurely on his cloud, feeling immensely content. At that moment, he spotted a tall, slender Taoist. This Taoist was none other than Pai Lucien, one of the seven immortals serving Tongtian Jiaozhu. Pai Lucien also noticed Li Xiao and hesitated briefly before approaching him, clasping his hands and saying, Fifth senior brother, what brings you here? Li Xiao could distinctly sense the disdain and condescension in Pai Lucien's gaze. The greeting was merely a formality, as Pai Lucien was reluctant to acknowledge him. I have nothing to do, just wandering about. Li Xiao deliberately emphasized the term fifth brother to irritate Pai Lucien, implying that despite his current circumstances, he was still the direct disciple of the Tongtian saint and Pai Lucien Sr. Pai Lucien grasped the underlying meaning and could only grunt in response, forcing a smile as he said, Fifth senior brother, I have some matters to attend to, so I must take my leave. With that, Pai Lucien hastily retreated. What a joke! You think you're amusing me? Li Xiao spat disdainfully in the direction Pai Lucien had fled. Just as he was about to leave, he noticed a gourd leaf on the ground. After a moment's hesitation, he picked it up. This gourd leaf clearly belonged to Pai Lucien, who had obtained his powers through the green-skinned gourd. After stowing away the gourd leaf, Li Xiao continued his leisurely journey. Before long, a red light shot up into the sky, blocking Li Xiao's path. He was thrilled, exclaiming, Could this be a treasure coming into being? Indeed, I am beloved by all, blooming wherever I go. My fortune is unmatched. I have barely left Jinao Island and already encountered a treasure eye in the shadows. The three Xiaos and Zhao Gongming rolled their eyes in exasperation. Goodness, senior brother is rather full of himself, said Bing Xiao. Rolling her eyes, Yun Xiao forced a smile. Zhao Gongming looked on helplessly. Meanwhile, Li Xiao quickly activated his Taoist eye to discern what treasure lay ahead. Upon doing so, he was overjoyed to see a plant approximately 10 feet tall, with two bright red fruits hanging beneath it, radiating astonishing spiritual energy and Taoist essence, clearly not an ordinary object. Bodhi Zhugua, using the Taoist eye, Li Xiao recognized the name of this item. It also bore another name, known as Blood Bodhi, a supreme innate spiritual root containing extraordinary spiritual power. Acquiring this item would surely lead to a significant increase in cultivation. Ha ha ha, I have struck gold this time. Li Xiao exclaimed gleefully, rushing toward the Blood Bodhi. However, upon arriving at the location of the Blood Bodhi, he found someone had already beaten him to it. Long-eared Dingguang Xian, who had also been drawn by the alluring red light of the Blood Bodhi. Oh, for heaven's sake, Li Xiao felt utterly speechless. There was only one Blood Bodhi, and since Long-eared Dingguang Xian had arrived first, it was unlikely he would share the dual fruits with him. Is my luck truly this poor? Li Xiao pouted, feeling disheartened. Suddenly, a mischievous thought struck him, and he grinned. I have it. Pai Lu Xian, you dare to look down on me? Then you shall bear the brunt of this for me. With that, Li Xiao transformed himself to resemble Pai Lu Xian and approached Long-eared Dingguang Xian. Greetings, senior brother Dingguang. Li Xiao saluted him. The long-eared Dingguang immortal gazed at Li Xiao and inquired, Disciple Pilu, what brings you to this place? Li Xiao cupped his hands and replied, Senior brother, the master has summoned you to the Bo Palace. The master? Dingguang immortal paused, casting a hesitant glance at Blood Bodhi. Li Xiao, observing Dingguang immortal's concern, smiled and reassured, Senior brother need not worry. This Blood Bodhi is not yet ripe. You can set a seal, and should anyone tamper with it, you will certainly sense it. Moreover, this location is secluded and difficult to detect, so you can rest assured. Dingguang immortal nodded and said, What you say is indeed true. With that, he formed a seal with his hands, establishing a protective barrier. Meanwhile, Li Xiao watched with keen eyes, fully understanding the seal set by Dingguang immortal. Disciple, let us depart. Dingguang immortal turned to Li Xiao and said. Li Xiao smiled and responded, Senior brother, you may go ahead. Sister Guiling is nearby, and I must notify her. Thus, I shall take my leave first. Dingguang immortal bowed to Li Xiao and then transformed into a streak of light, heading towards Golden Turtle Island. After Dingguang immortal departed, Li Xiao transformed back into his true form, a mischievous grin playing on his lips as he chuckled, Blood Bodhi, it's mine now. He then turned his gaze towards the seal established by Dingguang immortal. Once the Blood Bodhi ripened, Li Xiao began to break the seal. Possessing the 9 turns profound art, his control over strength far surpassed that of others, and with clear knowledge of the seal's state, Li Xiao easily breached the barrier. Subsequently, with a flourish of his sleeve, he gathered the Blood Bodhi, then flipped his hand to reveal a gourd leaf, tossing it onto the ground. Ha ha ha, Pilu immortal. This will surely be enough for you. Having accomplished this, Li Xiao wore a satisfied, impish smile, exclaiming with excitement. Chapter 14. Sister, you must surely like senior brother Li Xiao. This Li Xiao is truly something else. For the sake of a spiritual fruit, he dares to sow discord between senior brother Pilu and senior brother Dingguang. Stashed in the shadows, Bai Xiao watched in speechless disbelief, rolling her eyes and muttering complaints. Humph, even if senior brother Pilu holds him in slight regard, he need not resort to such slander. Fifth senior brother's character is questionable. Qiong Xiao also expressed her discontent. Zhao Gongming furrowed his brows, speaking solemnly, Humph, fifth senior brother's actions are unbecoming of a gentleman. Yun Xiao was equally perplexed, unable to comprehend why Li Xiao would go to such lengths to harm Pilu immortal. Pilu immortal shall eventually become the Buddha Vairocana of the Buddhist sect, undoubtedly betraying my interception sect. I shall ruin this scoundrel. Just then, Yun Zhao's mind echoed with Li Zhao's thoughts. What? Pilu immortal might also betray my interception sect? This. Yun Xiao was left dumbfounded, her heart shaken. She finally understood Li Zhao's motives. Were she in a position of weakness, she might have acted similarly. Although Li Zhao's actions might appear somewhat devious on the surface, they were, in fact, those of a true gentleman. Sister, why should we protect someone as shameless as fifth senior brother? We should just return. Bai Xiao continued to chatter. Third sister, be quiet. Fifth senior brother is not that sort of person. He has his reasons for acting as he does. Yuan Xiao frowned slightly, defending Li Xiao before Zhao Gongming, Qiong Xiao, and Bai Xiao. She sincerely hoped Li Xiao would not be misunderstood. But, sister, what reason could he possibly have? Why do you always defend fifth senior brother? Do you perhaps have feelings for him? Bai Xiao regarded Yuan Xiao with a strange expression, asking, Yes, sister, why are you defending fifth senior brother? Even when he's done this, do you like him? Qiong Xiao pressed further. Even Zhao Gongming stared at Yuan Xiao, clearly sharing the same thoughts. Yuan Xiao, taken aback, flushed with embarrassment as she looked at the three, exclaiming, Oh dear, brother, sisters, do not speak nonsense. How could I possibly like fifth senior brother? It's just what? Sister, how do you explain this situation? Bai Xiao continued to press. Yes, sister, please explain to us. If you do not like fifth senior brother, why defend him so? Qiong Xiao joined in. Zhao Gongming nodded in agreement. Yuan Xiao, flustered and blushing, shot Zhao Gongming an exasperated glare, hastily declaring, Brother, why are you joining them in this nonsense? I truly don't. In any case, it's not what you think, and you will understand in due time. Humph, sister, are you trying to fool us? Do you think we are easily deceived? Bai Xiao persisted. Third sister. Yuan Xiao feigned anger. Bai Xiao then stuck out her adorable, crimson tongue, ceasing her teasing. Meanwhile, after tossing the gourd leaf, Li Xiao swiftly concealed himself behind a large tree, preparing to witness the spectacle he had orchestrated. As it happened, Dingguang Immortal arrived at Golden Turtle Island, reaching the Bo Palace, and humbly announced, Master, your disciple Dingguang Immortal seeks an audience. Enter, came the dignified voice of the Tongtian cult master from within. Dingguang Immortal pushed the door open and bowed deeply upon seeing the master reclining on a cloud bed. Disciple Dingguang Immortal pays respects to the master. The Tongtian cult master regarded Dingguang Immortal and inquired, Dingguang Immortal, what is it you seek from me? Dingguang Immortal, momentarily taken aback, looked up at the master in confusion. Master, did you not summon me? I summoned you? I never called for you, the Tongtian cult master replied, equally bewildered, as he began to calculate but found the heavenly secrets shrouded in chaos, unable to discern anything. Unbeknownst to him, Li Xiao had already employed the Chaos Pearl to obscure the heavenly secrets. Dingguang Immortal stared at the Tongtian cult master in bewilderment, asking, Master, did you not send disciple Pilu to find me? He said you wished for me to return to the Bo Palace. The Tongtian cult master furrowed his brows, equally puzzled, replying, No, I did not send Pilu to seek you. Dingguang Immortal's confusion deepened, leaving him utterly bewildered, as if he were a monk unable to grasp the truth of the matter. Master, since there is nothing else, I shall take my leave, Dingguang Immortal said, bowing once more. Go ahead. The Tongtian cult master nodded. Dingguang Immortal bowed again and turned to exit the Bo Palace. Once outside, an ominous premonition began to stir within Dingguang Immortal's heart. Suddenly raising his brows, he exclaimed, Oh no, my blood bodhi. With that, Dingguang Immortal hastily took to the skies towards the location of the blood bodhi. Meanwhile, Li Xiao calculated the time and realized that Dingguang Immortal was hastening back. He pointed towards the sky, and a brilliant light soared upwards, causing a multitude of phenomena in an instant. The heavens transformed into a kaleidoscope of colors, radiating divine light. Nearby, Pilu Immortal, witnessing this spectacle, mistakenly believed a treasure had emerged and hurriedly rushed over in excitement. Upon arriving, however, Pilu Immortal descended from the clouds, only to find nothing. Strange, there was clearly a phenomenon just now. Where could the treasure be? Pilu Immortal pondered, perplexed. Just then, a streak of light approached, revealing a long-eared figure, none other than Dingguang Immortal. Disciple Pilu, what brings you here? Did you not say you were going to find Sister Guiling? Dingguang Immortal questioned, frowning. Sister Guiling? What are you talking about, Dingguang Immortal? I did not go to seek Sister Guiling. Pilu Immortal replied, equally befuddled. Dingguang Immortal's brows furrowed deeply as he turned to inspect the seal he had set, noticing it remained intact, and thus he breathed a sigh of relief. He then stepped forward, waved his sleeve, and broke the seal. However, Dingguang Immortal was left dumbfounded, for the blood bodhi was nowhere to be found. Where is my blood bodhi? Dingguang Immortal exclaimed in alarm. What blood bodhi? Pilu Immortal asked. I discovered the legendary blood bodhi here. And then you came to find me, saying the master sought me. However, since the blood bodhi was not yet mature, I established a seal here and went to the Bo Palace to seek the master. Who would have thought the master would say he never called for me? Upon returning, the blood bodhi had vanished. Dingguang Immortal was frantic. What are you talking about, Dingguang Immortal? I have not seen you before. Pilu Immortal exclaimed, equally bewildered. Never seen me? This is impossible. It was clearly you who. Dingguang Immortal was equally perplexed. Suddenly, his gaze fell upon the gourd leaf on the ground, causing his pupils to constrict. He turned back, gritting his teeth as he glared at Pilu Immortal, roaring, Pilu Immortal, do you still deny it? Return my blood bodhi. Chapter 15. Li Xiao laughed until he cackled like a goose. This, Dingguang Immortal, it's a misunderstanding. I truly did not take your blood bodhi, Pilu Immortal exclaimed urgently, scrambling to explain. Humph, then how do you explain this? Dingguang Immortal pointed at the gourd leaf on the ground, glaring at Pilu Immortal with gritted teeth. This that I truly do not know how it came to be, Dingguang Immortal, you must believe me. I did not take your blood bodhi, Pilu Immortal, his forehead beaded with sweat, implored desperately. Yet, faced with the evidence, his explanation seemed feeble. Dingguang Immortal was convinced that Pilu Immortal had stolen his blood bodhi, causing him to tremble with rage, his eyes blazing with fury as he glared at Pilu Immortal, gritting his teeth. I set a seal here, and at that moment, you were the only one present. If you did not enter the seal and take the blood bodhi, how could this gourd leaf be here? It must be the leaf you dropped when you took the blood bodhi. Pilu Immortal, quickly return my blood bodhi, or do not blame me for being impolite. Dingguang Immortal was on the verge of a breakdown, akin to a mother leopard that had lost its cub, roaring incessantly, Dingguang Immortal, listen to me. I truly do not know how this occurred. I did not take your blood bodhi. Pilu Immortal was nearly in tears, hastily explaining. Yet, at this moment, he could have 1,000 mouths and still struggle to clarify. Dingguang Immortal had already made up his mind that Pilu Immortal had taken his blood bodhi, and he was now trembling with rage, his eyes red as he bellowed, Pilu Immortal, I will say this once more. Return the blood bodhi, and this matter will be settled. Otherwise, I will not spare you. Senior brother, you must believe me. I truly did not take the blood bodhi, Pilu Immortal pleaded earnestly. Humph, you shameless scoundrel, since you refused to drink the wine offered. Prepare to face the consequences, Dingguang Immortal, furious, shouted, unleashing 2 beams of divine light towards Pilu Immortal. Within those beams, 2 glowing swords could be faintly seen. These swords were the powerful artifacts forged from Dingguang Immortal's own rabbit teeth. Pilu Immortal was startled and quickly dodged. Boom. The 2 swords flew forth, directly collapsing a towering mountain that stretched for millions of miles, sending rocks flying and dust swirling. A truly terrifying spectacle. Pilu Immortal's face twitched violently, and he exclaimed, Dingguang Immortal, do not act rashly, listen to my explanation. Explanation? Dingguang Immortal was thoroughly enraged, cursing outright, as he gestured for the 2 swords to attack Pilu Immortal again. In a panic, Pilu Immortal clutched his forehead, conjuring forth a green gourd. From within the gourd emerged a green light, striking Dingguang Immortal's swords. The swords immediately lost their luster, dimming and swaying in the air. Dingguang Immortal, seeing this, was infuriated, gritting his teeth. How dare you, Pilu Immortal? You dare to fight back? Today, I shall make you pay with that. Dingguang Immortal unleashed a white, bone-like orb, which was his innate spiritual treasure, the Dingguang Pearl. The pearl shot forth, emanating boundless white light that froze space, time, and everything around them. Pilu Immortal, aware of the Dingguang Pearl's might, was startled and hastily transformed into a streak of light, fleeing into the distance. Pilu Immortal, where do you think you're going? Dingguang Immortal was relentless in his pursuit of Pilu Immortal. Ah ha ha. Once the 2 had vanished into the distance, Li Xiao emerged from behind a large boulder, laughing uncontrollably, even cackling like a goose. Dog bites dog, both with fur. Wonderful, simply wonderful. Ha ha ha. In the shadows, Zhao Gongming and the 3 sisters watched in astonished silence, their eyes twitching violently. This 5th senior brother is truly something else, Bi Xiao exclaimed in disbelief. Indeed, sister. How can 5th senior brother act this way? Bringing harm to his own brothers? This Qiong Xiao added, pouting. Zhao Gongming also wore a look of indignation, clearly disapproving of Li Zhao's shameless actions. Yet Yun Xiao beamed with delight, looking at Zhao Gongming and her two sisters, smiling, brother, sisters, you must not spread this matter. Li Zhao's actions are justified. He did exactly what needed to be done. If I were in his position, I would have done the same. In time, you will come to understand why he acted as he did. But Qiong Xiao still felt something was amiss. Yun Xiao glanced at the three, pouting. Well, this is the master's decree, and you must not let it out. The master knows? Bai Xiao gasped. The master, being a sage, surely knows about this. Yun Xiao replied. Meanwhile, Li Xiao continued to laugh until his stomach hurt, finally managing to rein in his amusement. I truly wish to return and see how these two dogs are madly biting each other. But perhaps it is best to let it be. After all, it's a rare outing. I should take this opportunity to explore the vast wilderness. With that, Li Xiao continued his journey through the clouds, though his cloud occasionally wobbled, betraying his still gleeful demeanor. Zhao Gongming and the three sisters followed behind him, utterly speechless. On the other side, chaos erupted on Golden Turtle Island. Dingguang Immortal chased Pilu Immortal all the way back to the island. Pilu Immortal, cornered by Dingguang Immortal, rushed to the Bo Palace, exclaiming in desperation, Master, save me, Master, save me. Dingguang Immortal, upon reaching the Bo Palace, dared not act recklessly but instead turned to glare at Pilu Immortal, gritting his teeth. Humph! Pilu Immortal, spare me your theatrics before the master. Today, we shall present our case to the master. Dingguang Immortal, you must believe me. I truly did not take your blood, Bodhi, Pilu Immortal pleaded earnestly. Just then, the voice of the Tongtian cult master resonated from within the Bo Palace. Dingguang Immortal, Pilu Immortal, why are you two quarreling before the palace? Come in and speak. The two pushed open the door and entered, bowing respectfully before the Tongtian cult master, who reclined on his cloud bed, fixing his gaze upon them. Why are you two in such a state? He asked solemnly. Master, please adjudicate on behalf of your disciple. Dingguang Immortal bowed and recounted the events. Pilu Immortal, panicking, interjected, Master, it is not as it seems. I truly did not take Dingguang Immortal's blood, Bodhi. Please, Master, see through it and grant me justice. Pilu Immortal, do you still dare to argue before the master? Dingguang Immortal glared fiercely, chastising Pilu Immortal. Tio sees another's opportunity is akin to killing their kin. It is no wonder Dingguang Immortal is so furious. Chapter 16. What? Pilu Immortal might also betray the sect. The Grand Master of Tongtian, troubled by the incessant bickering of the two, furrowed his brow and exclaimed, Enough! Cease your quarrel. I implore the master to adjudicate. Long-eared Dingguang Xian, prostrated on the ground, wept bitterly. I beseech the master to discern the truth. Pai Lu Xian also lay on the ground, sobbing. The Grand Master of Tongtian regarded the two, then closed his eyes to perform a calculation. However, to his bewilderment, the heavenly secrets appeared more chaotic than before, shrouded in a haze of obscurity. After a prolonged effort, he could not decipher even a single strand of truth. After a moment, the Grand Master opened his eyes, casting a troubled glance at Pai Lu Xian and long-eared Dingguang Xian. His face flushed with embarrassment. Unable to admit his failure to discern anything, he spoke in a deep voice, You two are brethren. How can you squabble over a single spiritual fruit? Depart at once and cease this discord. With no insight to offer, he could only resort to authority. Yes, master. Long-eared Dingguang Xian and Pai Lu Xian dared not further provoke him, hastily bowing before exiting the Bo Palace. Yet, once outside, their countenances remained grim. Brother Dingguang, you must believe me. I truly did not take your blood, Bodhi. Pai Lu Xian sighed in a bitter laugh, attempting to explain to long-eared Dingguang Xian. Humph, whether you took it or not. You know in your heart. This matter is not over. I shall not rest until I settle it. Long-eared Dingguang Xian's face turned a shade darker as he uttered a harsh remark, then turned on his heel to leave, leaving Pai Lu Xian in a state of confusion. Oh heavens, can someone tell me what is happening? Pai Lu Xian nearly despaired, shouting to the sky. Meanwhile, Li Xiao continued his journey through the vast wilderness. Yun Xiao hesitated for a moment, glancing at Zhao Gongming, Qiong Xiao, and Bai Xiao, then said, Eldest brother, sisters, you must first covertly protect senior brother Li Xiao. Ensure that nothing befalls him. I shall return to Bo Palace to report an urgent matter to the master. Oh, Sister Yun Xiao, go ahead. We will safeguard senior brother Li Xiao, ensuring all is well, Zhao Gongming replied. Yun Xiao nodded and transformed into a streak of light, disappearing into the distance. Eldest brother, second sister, have you noticed? Eldest sister has been acting mysteriously. Bai Xiao couldn't help but remark. Indeed, she has been quite enigmatic lately, often visiting Bo Palace. Jiang Xiao added. It appears so. Zhao Gongming also seemed perplexed. After bidding farewell to Zhao Gongming, Jiang Xiao, and Bai Xiao, Yun Xiao soared through the clouds to Jinao Island, entering Bo Palace, where she greeted the Grand Master of Tongtian with a respectful bow. Disciple Yun Xiao pays her respects to the master. The Grand Master of Tongtian waved his sleeve, casting a barrier, and inquired, Yun Xiao, has something transpired? Yun Xiao looked at the Grand Master and recounted how Li Xiao had ensnared Pai Lucian and seized the Bodhi fruit. The Grand Master of Tongtian's expression darkened, his face turning a shade of iron as he cursed, rebellious disciple, a traitor among brethren. How could I have accepted such a disciple? Yet, how did this rebellious disciple manage to conceal the heavenly secrets? Even I cannot discern the truth. The Grand Master furrowed his brow, recalling how Pai Lucian and long-eared Dingguang Xian had caused a ruckus before Bo Palace, and how he had failed to derive any answers, nearly losing face, only to discover that the orchestrator behind it all was none other than the rebellious Li Xiao. How could this not incite the Grand Master's fury? Yet, alongside his anger, he was filled with astonishment. After all, the Grand Master was a revered sage. For Li Xiao to possess the ability to obscure heavenly secrets, even from a sage, was truly alarming. Had it not been for Yun Xiao's report, the Grand Master would have remained oblivious, entirely unaware. Just how many secrets lay concealed within this rebellious disciple? The Grand Master of Tongtian found himself unable to fathom Li Xiao any longer, realizing that this disciple was far from ordinary. Yun Xiao felt a surge of astonishment herself. Go think that Li Xiao possessed such means to shield the heavenly secrets. Observing the Grand Master on the brink of fury, Yun Xiao quickly regained her composure and bowed. Master, please do not be angry. There is a reason behind senior brother Li Xiao's actions. Humph. What reason could that rebellious disciple possibly have? The Grand Master scowled. Yun Xiao bowed again and stated, Master, I overheard senior brother Li Xiao's thoughts, wherein he expressed that Pai Lucian would also betray the sect. What? Pai Lucian would betray the sect? The Grand Master was taken aback, nearly losing his balance and tumbling from his cloud seat, his eyes wide with disbelief as he gazed at Yun Xiao. Previously, I heard that long-eared Dingguang Xian would betray the sect. Now, another traitor emerges. How could this not alarm the Grand Master? How many traitors lurked within the Jia sect? Yun Xiao nodded, offering a bitter smile. This is what senior brother Li Xiao's thoughts conveyed. The Grand Master took a deep breath, his eyes flashing with uncertainty. Now he finally understood Li Xiao's motives. If both Pai Lucian and long-eared Dingguang Xian were destined to betray the Jia sect, how could they be allowed to obtain the Bodhi fruit? Although Li Xiao's method was somewhat unscrupulous, it nonetheless demonstrated his fierce loyalty and abhorrence for evil. Yun Xiao, is there anything else to report? The Grand Master inquired. Yun Xiao hesitated, then looked at the Grand Master and replied, Master, I also heard senior brother Li Xiao's thoughts say that Pai Lucian would eventually betray our sect and become the Buddha of Vairocana. Buddhism? What Buddhism? The Grand Master was momentarily stunned, appearing bewildered. Presently, Buddhism had yet to emerge. It was merely the Western teachings. No wonder the Grand Master had never heard of it. However, those within the Western teachings referred to their achievements as Buddha. For instance, disciples of Jain and Zhuanti were named after Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, such as Maitreya Buddha, Medicine Buddha, and Precious Light Buddha. Was the Western teaching not Buddhism? If it was not, what connection did they share? The Grand Master found himself at a loss, for the current era was the calamity of the witch and the lich, separated by endless epochs. Even he could not deduce anything definitive, merely speculating from peripheral details. Taking a deep breath, the Grand Master forcibly suppressed his astonishment and turned to Yun Xiao, asking, Yun Xiao, is there anything else? Master, not at the moment, Yun Xiao reported. The Grand Master nodded, looking at Yun Xiao, return and continue to protect Li Xiao in secret, while also gathering more information beneficial to our Jia sect. Yes, Master, I shall take my leave. Yun Xiao bowed to the Grand Master and then exited Bo Palace, riding the clouds to catch up with Zhao Gongming and the others. Chapter 17. The tender heart of Huanglong Zhenren upon exiting Jinao Island, Yun Xiao hastened to pursue Zhao Gongming and the others. The group gathered, and Bai Xiao hurriedly asked, "Eldest sister, did you inform the master about how Li Xiao framed Pai Lu Xian and took away brother Dingguang's blood bodhi, deliberately instigating discord among our brethren?" Yun Xiao nodded. "I told him everything." "What did the master say?" Qiong Xiao inquired. Yun Xiao looked at Zhao Gongming, Qiong Xiao, and Bai Xiao, saying, "The master said senior brother Li Xiao did well." "What?" Zhao Gongming and the others were taken aback, left speechless for a long while. After a moment, they regained their senses. Zhao Gongming's face twitched violently as he stared at Yun Xiao, asking, "Yun Xiao, did the master truly say that?" "Indeed," Yun Xiao affirmed. The trio was thrown into disarray. Yun Xiao sighed in exasperation, looking at them. "Eldest brother, sisters, I will explain the details to you later. For now, please refrain from asking, eldest sister, do you perhaps have feelings for senior brother Li Xiao, and are intentionally concealing something for him?" Bai Xiao scrutinized Yun Xiao with suspicion. "You little brat, are you looking for a beating? Am I so thoughtless?" Yun Xiao retorted, feigning anger. Eldest sister is usually discerning, but those in love tend to become muddled in their judgment. Bai Xiao continued, but upon seeing Yun Xiao's increasingly dark expression, she ultimately fell silent. The group continued to follow Li Xiao through the wilderness. On one occasion, as Li Xiao was traversing, he unexpectedly encountered a figure. This figure was none other than Huanglong Zhenren of the Chan sect. Huanglong Zhenren, upon spotting Li Xiao, hesitated momentarily before stepping forward and clasping his hands. "I thought it was someone else. It turns out to be senior brother Li Xiao." "Greetings, brother Huanglong," Li Xiao replied nonchalantly, gazing at Huanglong Zhenren at this moment. The Chan and Jie sects, while not engaged in a life-and-death struggle, were certainly not on friendly terms. Huanglong Zhenren looked at Li Xiao, grinning widely. "Senior brother Li Xiao, even though I address you as senior brother, I do so with great reluctance." Li Xiao raised an eyebrow and asked, "Why is that?" Huanglong Zhenren, with a mischievous glint in his eyes, feigned a sigh. "I have heard that senior brother Li Xiao has remained at the celestial immortal realm for tens of thousands of years. Recently, you finally managed to break through to the mid-stage celestial immortal realm, while I have long since ascended to the Tai golden immortal stage. How can I willingly call you senior brother? It seems the techniques of your Jie sect are not as impressive as you claim." Huanglong Zhenren added with a smirk. His words were unmistakably intended to mock Li Xiao, using him as a means to belittle the Jie sect. In the shadows, Zhao Gongming and the three sisters gritted their teeth in anger. "Humph! Huanglong Zhenren is utterly disrespectful, daring to insult senior brother Li Xiao and our Jie sect so brazenly. This is truly intolerable." Bai Xiao, a veritable powder keg, was ready to charge forward and teach Huanglong Zhenren a lesson. "Hold on, third sister. Although fifth senior brother's cultivation may be lacking, he has never lost in verbal sparring. Let us see how senior brother Li Xiao responds." Yun Xiao hesitated and blocked Bai Xiao's path. Bai Xiao then reluctantly held back on the other side. Li Xiao, feeling infuriated by Huanglong Zhenren's mockery, maintained a smile on his face as he looked at him and said, "Brother Huanglong, my situation differs from yours. My stagnation is due to my own laziness. However, I have heard that you have been dubbed the three no Zhenren behind your back." "Oh, no. I believe it is four no Zhenren. I wonder if that is true." "For no Zhenren? What do you mean by that?" Huanglong Zhenren frowned, perplexed. Li Xiao, still smiling, replied, "No strength, no spiritual treasures, no disciples, and no backing. You." Huanglong Zhenren trembled with rage, glaring at Li Xiao while gritting his teeth. "Li Xiao, you have gone too far. Is that not brother Huanglong? What brings you here?" Just then, Zhao Gongming rode in on a black tiger, grinning at Huanglong Zhenren. Enraged and embarrassed, Huanglong Zhenren was about to retaliate, but upon seeing Zhao Gongming, his face twitched violently, and he hastily clasped his hands. "Greetings, brother Zhao." "Oh, brother Huanglong. How is it that you have only reached the Tai golden immortal stage? I have long since broken through to the great Luo golden immortal realm." Zhao Gongming exclaimed, shaking his arms as a cloud of auspiciousness appeared behind him. Amidst the cloud, divine light shimmered, 5 great rivers flowed back and forth, and 3 golden flowers blossomed atop his head, an omen specific to the great Luo golden immortal level. Huanglong Zhenren's face twitched violently. "Senior brother Li Xiao, you are also here. Please, do continue with your business. I have some matters to attend to, so I shall take my leave," Zhao Gongming joyfully urged, spurring his black tiger onward. Huanglong Zhenren let out a muffled groan. Not long after, the three sisters approached. Fifth senior brother, what are you doing here? Yun Xiao feigned surprise. Fifth senior brother, we recently broke through to the great Luo Golden Immortal Realm. The master said you should make an effort as well. Bai Xiao smiled at Li Xiao. I see. Li Xiao grinned at that not brother Huanglong. I recall we entered the sect later than you. How is it that you have yet to break through to the great Luo Golden Immortal? Qiong Xiao remarked, chuckling at Huanglong Zhenren. Huanglong Zhenren could only stifle a groan, his heart suffering 1,000 points of damage. Li Xiao's smile was radiant, yet his heart was as clear as a mirror. Earlier, he had already dispersed the concealment of the Chaos Pearl, and even if there were issues, he believed the Grand Master would not turn a blind eye. Now that Zhao Gongming and the three sisters had appeared, and intentionally revealed their great Luo Golden Immortal cultivation, it indicated that they were secretly protecting him. The master treats me quite well. Li Xiao felt a small surge of gratitude. Senior brother Li Xiao, please continue with your affairs. We have matters to attend to, so we shall take our leave, the three sisters said to Li Xiao. You three sisters take care. Li Xiao bowed to the three sisters as they departed on their cloud. Turning to Huanglong Zhenren, Li Xiao smiled and said, Brother Huanglong, did you see? Zhao Gongming and the three sisters have all broken through to the great Luo Golden Immortal Realm. Yet they still address me as senior brother. Do you think I am worthy of such a title? Huanglong Zhenren could only stifle another groan. Li Xiao stretched his arms and yawned. Ding. The system's melodious voice chimed in. The host feels comfortable and has earned 100,000 years of cultivation. At that moment, Li Xiao's heart soared with delight. 100,000 years of cultivation surged into him, causing his power to skyrocket like a rocket. Rapidly ascending. Late stage Celestial Immortal, peak Celestial Immortal. Wait? He hasn't even trained and yet has jumped 2 levels just by yawning. This. Huanglong Zhenren was left speechless, his heart suffering yet another 1,000 points of damage. Chapter 18. A meeting with Huanglong brings misfortune for 3 years. Just then, a female immortal flew by on a cloud. Instinctively, Li Xiao glanced at her. Ding. The system's voice rang out once more. The host admires a beautiful woman, feeling pleased, and has earned 200,000 years of cultivation. The system's voice echoed again. The cultivation surged into Li Xiao, causing his power to rise once more. Enveloped in divine light, a terrible aura soaring to the heavens, shattering the clouds above, he had successfully broken into the initial true immortal realm. This system is truly remarkable. Li Xiao was ecstatic. Wait, another breakthrough? Huanglong Zhenren exclaimed, his eyes bulging in shock. Li Xiao then turned to Huanglong Zhenren, smiling, Brother Huanglong, how many years did it take you to break through from celestial immortal to true immortal? Was it 10,000 years? 20,000? Or perhaps 1,000,000? Huanglong Zhenren could only stifle another groan, his heart suffering another wave of damage. At that moment, another figure flew by on a cloud. This figure was none other than Guangchengzi, the leader of the 12 golden immortals of the Chan sect. Upon seeing Guangchengzi, Huanglong Zhenren's face lit up with joy as he called out, Guangchengzi, wait for me with that. He hurriedly pursued Guangchengzi on his cloud. Senior brother Li Xiao, we shall meet again. Huanglong Zhenren turned to Li Xiao as he departed. Guangchengzi also noticed Li Xiao and Huanglong Zhenren, giving Li Xiao a slight nod as a greeting. Clearly, Guangchengzi harbored disdain for Li Xiao, given that Li Xiao's reputation as a waste was well known in the wilderness. Li Xiao returned the gesture with a nod. Meanwhile, Li Xiao's eyes shimmered with purple light as he utilized the divine eye of the great Tao to observe Guangchengzi. To his surprise, he discovered 3 opportunities awaiting Guangchengzi. Truly, Guangchengzi, as the leader of the 12 golden immortals, possessed profound fortunes. Even Li Xiao couldn't help but admire him. After exchanging greetings, Guangchengzi continued onward with Huanglong Zhenren. Hee, I have an idea. Li Xiao's eyes gleamed mischievously as a wicked smile crept onto his face. Continuing onward, Li Xiao swiftly soared on his cloud, reaching unprecedented speeds as he advanced. Upon arriving in a secluded valley, he beheld an enormous vine entwined between 2 majestic mountains, adorned with a fruit the size of a fist. The fruit was resplendently translucent, reminiscent of an exquisite jade carving, captivating to behold. It also emanated a remarkable spiritual energy, unmistakably indicating its extraordinary nature. This was the supreme innate spiritual root, the Jiutianyulu fruit. Li Xiao's heart leaped with joy at the sight, and with a graceful sweep of his sleeve, he effortlessly collected the Jiutianyulu fruit. Then, with a flick of his wrist, he produced a celestial sword and inscribed a phrase upon the mountainside. A chance encounter with the yellow dragon leads to 3 years of decline. How delightful! Having completed this task, Li Xiao turned and rode his cloud towards his next destination. Meanwhile, the yellow dragon Jinren and Guang Chengzi were traversing their path. Suddenly, Guang Chengzi raised an eyebrow, struck by an instinctive insight, and grinned, "Yellow dragon, I sense a fortuitous opportunity ahead." "Congratulations, senior brother," replied the yellow dragon Jinren, feeling somewhat dejected. As a yellow dragon who had attained enlightenment, he could not compare to the profound fortunes of Guang Chengzi, a true immortal of virtue and fortune. Without hesitation, Guang Chengzi and the yellow dragon Jinren ascended their clouds and hastened onward. However, midway through their journey, Guang Chengzi's expression shifted dramatically as he exclaimed, "Oh no! Someone has seized my opportunity." With that, he quickened his pace. Before long, the two arrived at the valley Li Xiao had visited earlier, only to find the colossal vine. Yet all the spiritual energy had coalesced into the fruit, which now appeared somewhat withered and yellowed, clearly rendered of little use. This is the Jiutianyulu fruit vine. Upon sighting the vine, Guang Chengzi felt a pang of anguish in his heart. A splendid opportunity had been so brazenly snatched away, leaving him seething with rage. Subsequently, both Guang Chengzi and the yellow dragon Jinren laid eyes upon the inscription Li Xiao had left on the mountainside. A chance encounter with the yellow dragon leads to 3 years of decline. Guang Chengzi's face twitched in fury as he turned to the yellow dragon Jinren. The yellow dragon Jinren, visibly enraged, shouted, "Who dares to inflict such a calamity upon me?" In a fit of rage, the yellow dragon Jinren summoned his celestial sword and obliterated the mountain before him, sending dust and debris flying. Guang Chengzi sighed heavily, his expression darkening as he turned to leave. The likes of the Jiutianyulu fruit, an extraordinary innate spiritual root, were rare and unattainable. Having lost such an opportunity left Guang Chengzi in a foul mood. "Senior brother Guang Chengzi, wait for me." The yellow dragon Jinren hurried after him. Upon catching up, he quickly explained, "Senior brother Guang Chengzi, do not believe those words. It is likely a ploy against me." "Senior brother Guang Chengzi, you?" "Rest assured, yellow dragon, I would never take such nonsense to heart. I simply wish to know who has taken my opportunity. It is truly infuriating. If I find out who it is, I shall make them pay dearly." Guang Chengzi retorted vehemently, "Indeed, I shall certainly assist you in seeking justice," the yellow dragon Jinren assured him. Guang Chengzi nodded, remaining silent as they continued on their cloud. Not long after, Guang Chengzi experienced another stroke of inspiration, his gloomy face brightening as he exclaimed, "Yellow dragon, I sense yet another opportunity." The yellow dragon Jinren's expression twitched as he feigned a smile. "Congratulations, senior brother Guang Chengzi. Fortune and misfortune are intertwined. You lost an opportunity previously, but now have gained another. This is truly your blessing. Let us hurry, lest we arrive too late and have it snatched away again." Guang Chengzi nodded. They swiftly propelled their clouds forward, but midway, Guang Chengzi's expression shifted once more, his teeth clenched as he muttered, "Damn it, I can no longer sense that opportunity." The yellow dragon Jinren's face contorted in distress, a foreboding feeling rising within him. They hastily continued their journey, ultimately arriving beside a grand river. The presence of treasures filled the air, yet Guang Chengzi could no longer sense their aura, indicating that they had indeed been taken. In truth, Li Xiao had just departed from this location with an exceptional innate spiritual treasure, the Chongshui Pearl. Guang Chengzi's face turned ashen as he suddenly looked up to see a stone tablet inscribed with the words, "A chance encounter with the yellow dragon leads to 3 years of decline." Guang Chengzi's face darkened like a pot's bottom, and he turned furiously toward the yellow dragon Jinren. The yellow dragon Jinren, in a state of panic, shouted, "Who is this scoundrel tormenting me? If I find out who it is, I shall not let them off easily." Chapter 19. Has Guang Chengzi's opportunity been snatched again? Humph. Guang Chengzi snorted coldly, extending his hand to seize a fish demon from the river with his formidable magical power. "Spare me, great immortal, spare me." The fish demon, terrified, quickly knelt and bowed. Guang Chengzi, his face a stormy shade, glared at the fish demon and demanded, "Tell me, has anyone passed by here and taken a treasure?" "Yes, great immortal," the fish demon replied, not daring to conceal the truth. Guang Chengzi inhaled deeply, pressing further, "What treasure was it?" "I do not know exactly, but I vaguely heard that person mention something about the Chongshui Pearl." The fish demon stammered. "This, Guang Chengzi nearly choked in rage, exclaiming, "An exceptional innate spiritual treasure, the Chongshui Pearl." "It seems so," the fish demon confirmed. Guang Chengzi felt his legs weaken, nearly collapsing as his heart burned with fury. After all, there were only 36 pieces of exceptional innate spiritual treasures in the entirety of the primordial world, amounting to a mere 40 in total. He had finally encountered one, only to have it snatched away. If it had been an ordinary treasure, Guang Chengzi might have been less incensed, but the higher the treasure's grade, the more infuriated he became. After all, a cooked duck had flown away, and it was a plump one at that. How could he not be furious? "Tell me, what did that person look like?" the yellow dragon Zhenren pressed. The fish demon shrugged and replied, "I cannot say, great immortal. That person was shrouded in divine light. I doubt I could not see their face." "Useless creature," the yellow dragon Zhenren roared, sweeping his sleeve and sending the fish demon tumbling into the river. "Humph!" Guang Chengzi let out a heavy snort and sped away on his cloud, clearly intent on pursuing the one who had taken his treasure. "Senior brother Guang Chengzi, wait for me," the yellow dragon Zhenren called out, hastily following. "Senior brother Guang Chengzi, do not believe that person's words. They are clearly framing meat," the yellow dragon Zhenren attempted to explain. Guang Chengzi nodded, a forced smile on his face. Although he recognized that someone was intentionally framing the yellow dragon Zhenren, he could not shake the discomfort in his heart. Once was tolerable, but this was the second time. Moreover, each lost treasure was more precious than the last. First an exceptional innate spiritual fruit, now an exceptional innate spiritual treasure. Guang Chengzi could not help but recall a particular saying. The two pursued at breakneck speed, but there was no sign of anyone. Li Xiao had long since vanished without a trace. With the Chaos Pearl concealing the heavenly secrets, not only could Guang Chengzi and the yellow dragon Zhenren not locate him, but if Li Xiao wished to hide, even the saints of the heavens or Tao ancestor Hongjun would struggle to uncover his whereabouts. As Guang Chengzi and the yellow dragon Zhenren failed to find any trace of Li Xiao, a sense of disappointment settled in their hearts. They resolved to head to Kunlun Mountain to listen to teachings. Just then, Guang Chengzi felt a surge of inspiration once more, his eyes lighting up as he exclaimed, "I sense a treasure nearby. Congratulations, senior brother Guang Chengzi." The yellow dragon Zhenren thought to himself, feeling an indescribable mix of emotions. Truly, this was a case of comparison.